All right, dude. I'll tell you one thing. I'm not wearing these fucking things this time because that gave me a headache all last week, dude. I'm blind in those things. That's my only call out I have is I'm ditching the glasses. I'm never doing another episode with those glasses again. That sucked ass.
Yeah,
I might as well have my eyes closed.
I'll count all of that as one thing. That was definitely one. And I am actually to the opposite. I say we do another one, like 20 podcasts from now, with regular glasses.
I'll do one with regular glasses.
Mine didn't hurt me at all, and it was just, I don't know, a little relaxing at the same time.
No, mine just sucked because they had the writing on them, and I was trying to see. So the entire time, I was just straining my eyes.
Yeah.
For 2 consecutive hours almost. It was a pain in the ass. I can't do it again. But anyway, now that I got that out of the way, with the glasses rant done.
Yep, we're back for episode 8 of the Backroad Banter podcast. Back for another week of minimal conversations and minimal things learned, and hopefully a whole lot of little giggles over the next couple hours. So let's see what happens.
It's been 2 months, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
2 months worth of stuff. You know, that's what's we really lucked out with only doing one podcast a week, but starting whenever we did with catching that extra week in the first month there, kind of put us ahead a little bit.
Yeah, it really helped us get in a groove whenever we didn't know what we were doing. I mean, we still kind of barely know what we're doing, but you know, we know a lot more than we did 2 months ago.
Yeah, or at least we're at least more organized. That's a good way to put it.
Oh yeah. There's a little bit of a structure that's just kind of organically forming over time. I like it.
Yeah. Oh shoot. Well, let's start out like we always do. What'd you do this past weekend, man? How was your past week? And I don't know. Who'd you jerk off over the weekend?
Nobody really. Not even I'll answer the last question first. Nobody. Not even myself. But I'll get to that in a second. My week was very normal.
Yeah.
So my week which is good. It's the first normal week that I've had in like 2-3 weeks. Like I've had some real doozies of weeks here lately. So it was good to finally get back into normal, or at least the new normal, because you know different location and whatnot. So
yep.
It was nice though. It was nice and eventful. And then Friday rolled around, Valentine's Day, and we were still reeling from the past 2-3 weeks of hell and travel and moving and this, that, or the other. And so we just decided for Valentine's Day we were staying in. We weren't doing shit. We were gonna get some pizza and beer, and that's what we did. And Friday was all right, and then I woke up Saturday morning, and I said, you know what? I can promise you by the end of today, I'm gonna be sick. So like I'm gonna be really fucking sick. Like it was the first thing I thought when I woke up. I could just feel it in my chest and my throat. So by the end of the day, I'm gonna be really fucking sick. And then sure enough, probably about 2-3 o'clock, I was really fucking sick. And so sick all day Saturday and all day Sunday. So my first free weekend in my new home, I was sick as fuck, and I didn't do anything at all. So that was about it. I'm still recovering from it now. I'm sure I sound a little bit different. I'm a little stuffy still. So.
That fucking that blows right there, dude. A couple things. One, we'll start out on a more pot. Well, let's just end it. Were you feeling sick from being drunk, or food poisoning, or overeating like crap? Or...
No, it wasn't even my stomach at all. It was just like my sinuses and my chest and like just breathing, coughing, sneezing.
Okay.
It was a respiratory thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like a traveling sort of illness.
Yeah, so it whooped my ass. But yeah, it was zero stomach issues at all, which was nice. Yeah, so because I didn't drink a ton Friday night, but you know, drank a little bit Friday night, and then I woke up Saturday and just coughing. I had an itch in my throat, and my chest felt a little tight. I said, man, I know I'm getting sick. And then I watched myself get sick in real time throughout the course of the morning.
Yeah, that's good. That's good that it was just on a Monday, and that you're good by Monday, and hopefully don't have to work like that.
Yeah, no, today wasn't the best, but it was a little slow. Mm-hmm. I'd say I'll be fine tomorrow. I'm on the upswing. So
Good. Well, that's awesome, and that's good that you guys had a good Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it was nice and relaxed, and
that's always
did what I had to do. So
that's honestly the best, especially whenever you've been traveling a lot, and whenever you're in a new place and Just with all the scenarios you found yourself in, I'm sure that was the best way to spend that sort of holiday.
Oh, it was a damn peaceful week, and I wasn't even really that upset about being sick, because I was like, man, at least I'm sick in my own place. No extra bullshit to worry about. I get to sit here and be sick and watch TV and play video games, and don't have to go out driving in the snow. So that's
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Heck yeah. Well, good.
I don't know about your week, dude, because I know you did some shit. I know you did.
Yeah,
I have a good feeling.
My week was fine. Work was average, per usual. Had another meeting there with Colby on the international campaign. We didn't really make much progress, but I was able to show him some of the scripts the script that I put together for the commercials, and then just talk about how excited each of us are and why we are about it, which kind of just build each one of us up, I think, a little more in terms of motivation to do well on this. So I got that was cool, and then it led into a pretty big week. This week is GSU Giving Day there on Wednesday, and last weekend was Winter Homecoming, and tomorrow is GSU Day at the state capitol. So like a lot of work stuff going on and whatnot, but yeah, I really couldn't. I focused on everything, but I didn't really care too much because the Valentine's weekend that me and Faith had planned, we went up to PA, went up to there to Washington. Spent most of the time in Washington. Drove up a little north, but not too far to Topgolf. Played Topgolf for a couple hours. It was fun to just be the two of us, and like with me being a golfer and her not, like the games that we were playing and just the way that we went about it, it was just a really good way to kind of start off that weekend, I suppose. And it just led into we planned it out perfectly. It led into a great day of shopping. She let me spoil her a little bit, which she rarely lets me do. So I was able to buy her some clothing and some other things and just treat her to a nice time. And then we went back to the hotel and slept for a little bit, prepared for the night, because we went to the casino there in Washington and spent, I think, from like probably 6:45 to about 12:15 there. So we spent a long time there. It was one of the longest stints that I've spent at that casino.
Hell yeah!
But it was a good time. I actually have multiple things. I actually took notes. I wanted to talk to you about this trip just because I was like, you know what, there's enough things I could talk about. So, but we'll just start with the casino itself. Pretty proud of ourselves overall. We started off pretty bad. Over the first like 2.5, 3 hours, we weren't winning. Most of it was me, come to find out, because Faith had most of the money I gave her left. So it was mostly me, and I was just dumping it, bro. But then I started coming around and choosing the right machines and stuff, and altogether we ended up putting in like 480, and I walked out with 560 plus what Faith had left, and so like basically broke even is the way that I look at it. And for almost a 6-hour stint at the casino, and can't really beat that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, breaking even at a casino is always like, I know some people would disagree, but I think it's a really good feeling. I'm like, oh hell yeah, at least I didn't shoot myself in the foot. So some people are just pissed they didn't win any money. I'm like, dude, you better be glad you didn't lose a lot.
You didn't lose, bro. And I'm surprised. I thought I would have been in a bad mood, but I just wasn't. And it's usually because at this point I'm well versed in casinos, and because of how I am with my own finances, I know like any money I'm bringing in to spend or I spend in here, like I've allotted it for myself. I'm not doing it because I have an addiction to gambling or to slot machines or to table games, you know.
Yeah, you're not sitting there gambling away the paycheck. Like, you have set aside money for this thing to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So me and Faith always look at it like we talk to ourselves, give us a little pep talk on the way in. Like, you know what? It's okay. We lose it all, it's whatever. It's why we bring it here. We're going to have a good time. We're going to drink, eat that good food, check out the music. And no, it turned out pretty good. We ended up even. A lot better than what we thought we did. Even whenever I was cashing in, like, we didn't think we did too good. But had some pretty good tickets there. But we'll just talk about the casino itself. We can start there. I sent you the pictures, and we were starting to talk about it earlier. I'll throw it up for anybody that hasn't been there that's 21 and over. Check it out. Have you been there since Barstool Sports went out?
No, I didn't know they went out. Because that was relatively new. I remember the first time I went there, they had the whole middle of the son of a bitch torn apart, putting in the Barstool Sportsbook thing.
Yes.
And then I haven't been there. Oh shit, it's probably been a year plus now. I haven't been to a casino in a while. The last time I went was with you, I'm sure. I don't remember when that was, but it's been a minute.
Me and Faith hadn't went since last New Year's with, well, you and Kevin and Lauren.
Was I there at New Year's last year? I didn't remember what I did at New Year's last year.
I think you could. Yeah, because you didn't come to Topgolf. You just came to the casino New Year's of 2023 leading into 2024.
Yeah, that might be right.
Because Kevin and Lauren came to Topgolf with us. But, yeah, dude, I walked in and I was just dumbfounded, dude. I was dumbfounded. But it was so nice. And I give, like, obviously ESPN has a lot more money. But if anybody hasn't checked them out before, I'll throw up some pictures right here. But they replaced the Barstool Sports Bet book, which was awesome, with ESPN Bets. And I only have 4 photos that I took here because all you really need to know is what the logos look like, which from a marketing and just a visual and from a consumer standpoint, the B inside the E flows great. The color scheme is fantastic for betting. Looks awesome. I like it.
Does the actual inside of it, like the bar part, does it still look like the same bar?
Oh, bro, yes. Design-wise, yes, but they added in so much more. They added in a hard top place where you can go up, like a bigger hard top place where you can go up and make actual live sports bets, not on your phone. They added in an extra restaurant called the Six Burger, which is absolutely freaking, it's just awesome.
Yeah.
On the other, like directly behind the Six Burger is like 15 super large lazy boy chairs that you can just sit there and drink, while on the wall they are displaying live sports, and you can still order the food and stuff in those. And then I included one of the pictures there that just shows like the TV. That wall, like the screen of it has to be at least 15 feet high. Like it was just ridiculous, and it was cool to just sit there and watch TV. And I guess the only other photo I took mistakenly was of the hockey puck table, but I just thought that hockey table was cool, and instead of foosball, it's hockey, so why not?
Yeah, that is pretty sweet.
They did. They had everything that Barstool had in terms of the open cornhole. They had sets.
I was about to ask that if they saw the cornhole boards and shit.
They had the sets that people could just grab and set up themselves, though. They didn't have workers setting them up or nothing. At first I was a little disappointed because I'm a fan of Barstool, but no, after having the service there and everything, it's the exact same and a little better from my point of view. So it's cool.
Yeah, it's probably just whoever was willing to dole out more money to the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then definitely ESPN was more willing to do it than Barstool was, I'm sure.
Yes. Yeah. I'm trying to look here. The only other thing that I really have is what the fuck is wrong with West Virginia drivers that are all addicted to slowing down, to freaking take their eyes off of where they're driving and to stare at what happened in an accident.
They do that here too.
Do they?
Yeah, they do
Okay.
that. They do that here too. It's annoying
Well,
as fuck.
all drivers should stop doing that, because they did that while we were on our way up, and it slowed us down on the interstate to 20 miles an hour, which was just completely unnecessary and unneeded. And people got over to one lane so that they could drive slower and watch. And I was just so mad. And then we get into Washington there, and there's like an actual bad collision at the intersection by the Tanger outlets. And, not for these people. Nobody's even waiting to shop. They're running red lights right in front of all the cops and firefighters. Like,
hell yeah.
Dude, everybody was doing the opposite.
Go.
Yeah. It was cool. I was like, this is how people should drive. with some logic.
Yeah, I hate those people that fuck around. Like, whenever you just come to almost a dead stop on the interstate, and it's just the minorest of accidents over to the side, and you're just like, man, did we really all slow down because all you guys are just looking at it?
That's like, why are you staring at an accident? It's not new. Like, they happen all the time.
Yeah, it's,
And how many times do you see a dead body? Never.
Almost
so,
none.
I
think I did one time.
Really?
I didn't see enough of it to be sure, though.
Did you cause it?
No. I was driving home from work whenever I worked evening shift at the job I have now, but it was back whenever I worked evening shift. And I was driving home, and I saw, it was a road up to my left, I saw just a whole bunch of flashing lights and cops and fire trucks and ambulances and shit. And then I'm driving by, I'm the only person on the road because it was 11:30 at night on like a fucking Tuesday. And I just looked over to my left, and I see all these lights, and the lights light up the road, and then I could just barely see legs laying flat on the road. And I was like, oh shit, and then I looked forward. I was like, yeah, like the emergency vehicles are blocking most of it. I don't even know if it was a dead person, but that's what it looked like. Because I just saw legs laying on a road. Like, I didn't only see legs. It wasn't like somebody in half. It was just the emergency vehicles were blocking the rest of the view. And I was like, oh shit, that might be a dead guy. And I just kept driving.
That's what they were doing here, but I thought they were doing it out of respect so people didn't stop and take pictures, you know?
Yeah.
This one, they're definitely, unless it was an old person, nobody died.
Yeah, mine had like the whole road closed down, and that's the only reason I was looking, because I was like, why the fuck is a whole road closed down at 11:30 p.m.? What are they doing? And I thought they were doing road work or something. I looked up, I said, that's not road work. And then I looked back forward and I went home.
Unless they were a part of the construction.
Yeah.
They might have been a part of the road construction. Who knows?
Maybe they just wanted to be part of the road.
Yeah, not a bad final resting place.
Yeah.
Not a bad final resting place. Well, nice. Well, on to that. We can, well, I'll just finish up. It was a good weekend. It was just a good weekend overall. Great weekend. I love Faith. It was a great weekend with her. At the casino, I got to hang out. Me and her hung out, met up with my brother Ryan and his girlfriend. And it was a great time, man. It was the first time, like I was talking to my sister about, it was the first time that me and Ryan, I think, hung out outside of my wedding since, like, being adults.
Yeah.
Like, willingly scheduling to get together. And it was awesome. It was a great time just talking and, like, the way that me and Faith just were on our way back to the hotel and then on our way home just talked about it a lot. So it was good. It was a good way to not end the weekend because we came back on Saturday, but it was a good to us. That was the weekend, and then it just gave us an extra day to recover and to kind of settle back in. So it was nice. It was nice.
Yeah, because you guys both took off Friday, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I thought so.
Whenever I asked her if she wanted to do this, I had already got the hotel, and I planned for it just to be Valentine's Day since it came on that, or fell on that Friday. And yeah, it just worked out. So we were back with Layla at the house by 5 on Saturday. So
nice.
Yep, not too bad. Good start and end to last week and this week.
Hell yeah, dude, that's awesome. I want to make a quick because you mentioned your brother, and that reminded me. Speaking of brothers, by the time this comes out, it will not be obviously the same day. But today, real time, right now, Monday, February 17th, is my older brother's birthday. So, happy birthday, Josh.
Well, you know what? We're going to do the same thing. I don't think Ryan even knows I have a podcast, and
my brother definitely doesn't know. I've never brought it up to him. I've only talked to him twice since we started it.
But happy birthday, Ryan, because your birthday was on Saturday, which is why we met up on Friday night.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, happy belated birthday. Happy belated birthday to Josh and Ryan. They're both very different ages, but happy birthday to both of them.
Happy birthday, Josh. And you know what? I'm just throwing it in there because Andy's is tomorrow, bro. Happy birthday, Andy Goldman.
Holy shit, it's birthday week everywhere.
Oh, my gosh, man.
I don't know who else's birthday it is. It might be somebody else's birthday. It's Brody's birthday.
Is it really?
Today, yeah. I always remembered Brody's birthday because it was the same as my brother's.
Oh, gosh.
That's the only reason.
Happy birthday, Brody, man.
Yeah, happy birthday,
Holy
Brody.
Cow. I did not know that. I don't think I've ever known Brody's birthday, though.
Dude,
I'm going to be honest, I don't think Brody ever had a birthday.
Yeah, dude, he just popped up one day. He just spawned.
He's just Brody. He spawned in Florida and then walked across the state line to West Virginia, man. He was there, and then he was gone.
That's one of the best stories of all time. It doesn't, it delivers well with people who don't know the people, but it's still, there's still nothing like being there for it.
Yeah.
That was the funniest shit ever, because it was so funny because everybody thought that we were, laughing at him because he was dumb. And it was like, no, we were laughing at him because you got him.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody else heard me tell him that. That was the point.
Yeah, you just whispered to him, Florida. Nobody heard it but us. And then he said it, and we all laughed our asses off. And everybody else is just giving us, the death stare. They're like, what the fuck is wrong with these guys? No, we're not laughing at him because he's an idiot. He's not an idiot. He's a good dude.
He's not an idiot.
He's not an idiot. He might have been. He might have been at the time. That was middle school, so he was probably a bit of an idiot.
Yeah, I think he was just a skater. I think he fell into that stereotype of.
Oh yeah, he just wasn't paying a lick of attention. Is all it was. He was fucking zoned out, dude.
Yeah, just because we were gonna save it, but we might as well say it just for context. Our buddy Brody Springer in what class?
It was West Virginia history because that was we were studying for the final. We were studying for the final, and our teacher said she asked the question first before she called on somebody because she wanted to catch somebody that wasn't paying attention. She said, can somebody name one of the states that borders West Virginia? And she looks around the room and goes, Brody. And Justin just goes, Florida. Then Brody just, without missing a beat, Florida? We all laughed our asses off, and everybody thought we were fucking evil because everybody thought that he was just dumb. Yeah. But it was Justin got him.
But more than that, it wasn't me getting him. It showed Brody being Brody, just spacing out and trusting his buddies to lead him in the right direction. That's the funniest thing about it is, most of the time we wouldn't do that.
No. If it mattered, we wouldn't do that.
Yeah, but 2 times out of 10, well, yeah, if it's just going to make Brody, yeah, that's so funny, man. Shout out, Brody. Happy birthday, man.
Yeah, happy birthday, Brody. I miss Brody. That was a good little Brody story to give on his birthday. Nobody else got a story, so.
Yeah. Man, we could, yeah. We'll do stories for everybody eventually. This is going to go for a while.
Everybody will get a story, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Well, leading in, I don't know. You got anything you want to talk about, man? Anything specifically? Like I said, I didn't, just because of how chaotic last week was and then busy this weekend was and then today staying home with Layla and being on dad mode, I didn't really get to write anything down. I just have some pictures that I can kind of refer to talk about. But
yeah,
do you have anything?
I definitely have something I want to lead with because I meant to talk about it last week and I fucking forgot. But I found this Instagram page, and it made me laugh at first because I wasn't sure if it was real. So it was, it's called the Pittsburgh Scanner. And what it is its actual feed from actual police scanners. I didn't know this because some of them it actually posts the audio for, but some of them it posts the audio for, and then some of them it just posts a description of what's happening. So it was there's a good old West Virginian driving by your house, dude. I heard that.
Sorry for everybody.
They've made their appearance 2 weeks in a row now. That's awesome. But a lot of the times it's just typed out on Twitter and it's a screenshot, and then they posted. They just post the screenshot as stories or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So let me show you why I thought it was fake. Let me read one that was definitely fake. Let me find a good one. Hold on. Bluff, 5th Avenue, 1700 block. Caller says that a naked man in a white Porsche is driving around the apartment building. Caller stated that the nude man wiggled his tongue at the caller. See, that doesn't sound real. That sounds like a joke. That sounds like something that's supposed to be funny. And
Can you reread that, please?
Yeah. Caller says that a naked man in a white Porsche is driving around the apartment building. Caller stated that the nude man wiggled his tongue at the caller.
Okay. I don't think that's assault.
Yeah, well, I don't think it was supposed to be assault. I think they just called the cops on him because he was being weird. I don't know. But that sounds like a joke. It doesn't sound like an actual police report. But then here's the next one. Terrace Village, Burroughs Street. Police department are on foot chasing a man with a gun in his hand. The individual is also occasionally pointing the gun at pursuing officers. That doesn't sound like a fucking joke.
No, and you know what happens whenever he does it once? They start firing back. 9 times out of 10, because that's a threat to their life. So that's crazy if so.
And then let me read another one that sounds fake. Duck Hollow, McFerrin Street. Caller said some jagoff in a BMW is speeding and apparently arguing with someone. They don't recognize him. That sounds like it's supposed to be funny. This one definitely fucking doesn't. Southside Slopes, Burham Street. Caller said they think they see human remains. Upon arrival, police have found a body and requested medics and a supervisor. So, nonetheless, there are some of them that are fucking hilarious. That's the thing's real. Because they also post clips. I'm not going to play them on here because the microphone's not going to pick them up as well.
Yeah.
But if you want to find it, it's just PGH Scanner on Instagram. It's pretty interesting, and you'll hear some funny shit on there too because they do post audio clips of some of them. Even some of them don't even have to be audio clips, and some of them are funny. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh yeah, downtown Wood Street Commons. Caller is at the bus stop and says that someone in the apartment complex is throwing tuna fish from the windows at him. Like, some of the shit's just kind of silly. But I thought it was a really fucking good page to follow.
Dude,
there is some funny shit. There's some funny shit, and then there's not funny shit.
That's just stupid. Like,
it's like they alternate with the very serious things and then the goofy things. Like, there's a serious one about somebody, like, attacked with a machete and they're bleeding. And then here's one that says, caller said she arrived home and found dog poop smeared all over her door and the porch. She does not have a dog.
that doesn't seem like something somebody would call the cops about. It seems like something they'd be, because the cops can't do anything about that. What are they supposed to do?
I don't know, unless they had a camera or something. I guess it's vandalism. So.
But if they have a camera, then they know who did. Like, that's my thing. Is like, I don't know. I get your point though. It makes sense, but it's on the line. It's so much on the cusp that like, is this person just bad at humor and doesn't know how to like, really reach that funny limit? So. This is their realistic funny.
But these are just actual fucking things that happen, yeah. It's
I'm
pretty
not sure,
cool.
Man. Yeah, I followed them, so we'll wait. You say what?
PGH Scanner.
That's not what I followed. I'm gonna put PHT. PGH. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actual fucking shit they pick up from police scanners, yeah. And there's actual audio clips and shit in some of them too. Apparently, I think these guys might.
Yeah, that's what I see. I'm just curious, like, that's funny. 32,000 followers. Well, I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I want them to be a little more funny. I'm going to unfollow them because they're not funny enough for me yet.
Oh, yeah, I mean.
But you guys get there. You're almost there. Yeah. You're right on the cusp.
So I'm not even sure if they're trying to be funny. I think they're just putting shit that they hear on the police scanner.
Well, I need to know if it's real, and if it's real, only put the funny ones because I don't want to hear about people being hurt.
I do know for a fact that one of them is real because I saw it on the news.
Well, I want to see.
Yeah, one of the bad ones that I saw it on the news, so I was like, shit, okay, that's real news.
Was that a recording though? Because they also could just tweet out what they saw on the news from their account, you know.
I saw it on here before I saw it on the news.
Okay.
I saw it on here, and then I was at work like the next day, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well they're probably real then. Well, nope. I'm a conspiracy theorist. They are totally Islamic terrorists. I don't believe them. Oh, that's so funny.
That's funny as shit.
Not funny. Terrorists aren't. Islamic ones are. They got good jokes.
Unless these guys, you know what? What if that's what pushes them over the funny line? Terrorism.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you find out they're terrorists, and you're like, all right, now you guys are having fun.
Yeah. Gonna follow them now.
Oh shit.
This is just social media related because I know if anybody follows anything political, then they know about Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency, which I'll just make a side note on that. I've had multiple conversations with people that lean left, and I understand you lean however you want. I love individualism and everybody having their own perspectives, but multiple people have told me that tried to refer and tie Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency, to the meme and Coinbase thing, and they are not at all tied together. It is literally an acronym for a thing. It's just like...
It is goddamn funny that the acronym is the same.
It is ironic.
It's kind of funny, yeah.
But I give that credit more than likely to Elon for just being like, you know what would piss more people off?
Yeah, he's like, you know, it'd be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. But like... And everybody can have their own opinions on what he's doing or whatever, but with USAID, which is also an acronym, it's not it's also an acronym. But with USAID, they obviously are taking away billions of dollars that has been spent on ridiculous things. And I have lists, and you know what? I'll throw the list up here just to piss some people off if you are left-leaning, and I don't mean to piss you off. I'm doing this just so that you understand what is actually happening and why the Department of Government Efficiency was established, because there's more than enough waste going on. But what I wanted to talk about had to do with the news, because it was a news channel that, it's just... It just shows what the news does and what social media does to get clicks. Fucking Fox News put on a thing that says that Doge talked about I think the exact wording was hamster fight clubs, and that got my attention. And I was like, I know that's just a fucking draw, and that's gonna piss dumb Republicans that have no sense to do any research into what's actually going on. Fight Club. It absolutely. But here's the thing: it needed taken away. It absolutely did. But here's why I mention it: the Hamster Fight Club was it was funded, first of all, through multiple universities in the United States, getting between $500,000 and millions of dollars a year. But what they did basically was take cocaine and some other drug and inject hamsters and mice and literally make them fight each other.
That's sick.
Dude, that's what universities were doing inside of their science departments, and they were being it's just so funny to think oh man, think about that movie. That movie is 10 times better than actual Fight Club. If I can, I want to put a hamster photo up of him doing karate or fighting somebody.
Yeah.
That'd be
I thought you just meant like a coked out hamster. That'd be
let's do a
funnier picture if you said.
All right, a coked out hamster right here. But I just find it hilarious because it's like, man, you are focusing on the wrong point. Let's be mad. Let's not talk about the hamsters fighting. Animals fight. We fight. Let's talk about them injecting high expensive, university's not doing low quality coke either. High quality cocaine and other amphetamines into these mice. There are a lot of addicts that would pay high dollar and boost the United States economy from simply buying those drugs, and we're wasting them on universities' studies. So I'm glad that we're getting rid of that. I thought that was really funny, really interesting. And there's also another one that I just want people to look up, is because it's a real thing. We spent the USAID sent money to study the relationship and bonding patterns of parrots, so that they understand how parrots like the bird form relationships.
That's what I was about to say. Did you say parrot or parrot?
Yeah, parrot.
Nice.
Parrot makes sense. Parrot does not. Who gives a flying fuck? Besides the parrot, maybe. There are some parrots that definitely are on 23 wings and me, and they need some help because I'm sure they're geeky little guys that just can't get no tail feathers. So I understand certain parrots needing to basically just a social guide, but we don't need to spend money on that, and it's not really helping us. So I just thought that was just stupid. We also spent money on a study to see how much kids love their pets, and I'm not sure what the results are on that because I couldn't find it. I just found a bunch of articles talking about the thing, so I guess I don't.
Anyway.
Well, that's my thing is I don't know, and I also don't know because I couldn't actually find the results of it. I don't know how true it is, But I believe it. I believe it because there were enough places that talked about it, but that's why I looked into it because I was like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, because it's gonna vary. It's gonna vary from person to person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's definitely gonna vary depending on what kids you are and what parents you have, and what kind of values you're taught and stuff. Yeah, it's not gonna
what kind of animal you got,
or just by how fucked or not fucked in the head you are, and things like that.
It's just odd, man. It's just odd.
Weird.
So
I guess that's probably why they're doing the study is to get a broad generalization of. But still, I don't.
But why? Yeah, it's not going to gain anything. And so it just more plays into. And I only mention these not because I'm trying to get political in one way or another, but because they're stupid. And I want everybody to watch this to think whatever you want about the person that's saying this, but go and make your own conclusion based off of real information and not off of something that you simply read, because everything is specifically designed to grab our attention while we're scrolling through social media or flipping through TV channels. So just make ourselves well informed, and then we learn about all these cool drugs hamsters get to do, but we're not allowed. So.
And not only they get to do them, they're encouraged to do them, or at least were. I guess you're not anymore. But.
Yeah, not from the USAID anyways. I'm sure they still are, and I'm sure there's some cool pet owners that are like, "Hey, buddy, I still got you."
Yeah. I won't let them take this from you. This is all you have.
I don't need to know how much a hamster can fight, because a hamster's so small. Who gives a shit if it could kill another hamster? I want to know what is the horsepower you could get out of 500 hamsters on coke. If you put them on one giant wheel, what is the RPM for that wheel that you will produce?
How many of them are going to kill each other, too? Just out of gross negligence. They're just going to fucking...
Well, probably a lot, but hopefully while they're eating and drinking the coked out blood of those dead hamsters, that gives them energy to run even faster and increase the RPMs and therefore horsepower and output. So let's... You know what? Let's do that down here at the BBP Studies program. That's going to be the next. That's going to be our next venture. We're going to open up a whole science department and devote money to that. Let's do it.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
If anybody wants to donate $10 million, I guess that'd be cool.
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell you what we're going to use it for, but
no,
you still do it.
Yeah, and it'll be for science. I'm just putting it under the idea of science. But don't forget that we had also asked for about $10 million for them to send us to Paris.
Was that it? I forgot what they were sending us to. They were sending us somewhere. Yeah.
It was to Paris so that on New Year's next year we could do a podcast, but so we could throw old furniture out the windows.
That's right.
Yeah.
Was it Paris or Italy?
I don't know.
It's over there somewhere. Some European.
It was over there, not here.
We'll just go to a few of them.
We'll just go to it. Yeah, we'll throw out as many chairs and old pieces of furniture out as many windows as they'll let us, and maybe we'll just make a map of it.
Every year we'll just go to a different country and then do that, and until we get in trouble or find the right one.
That would be hilarious if in 45 weeks they just see us. Well, guys, welcome to Backroad Banter Podcast 53, and we are live here from Mexico City, and we know this is not the right one, but we can get away with it here. So that's how it would go to.
We're in England from a fucking jail cell.
They were nice enough to let us
let
us keep our podcast equipment.
But they gave us their own. They just had a closet full of it. They
like, we're fans of you guys. Yeah. You don't realize it. We're fans.
Yeah. Like, we were hoping that you guys would come here and throw.
That's how we knew we'd catch you. We knew where to go.
They just kept their eyes peeled. We knew you guys didn't remember which country.
This is very random. I'm just looking at my notes on my phone here. This is very random, but did you see that video of a man that was swallowed by a whale?
Oh, I heard about it, but I didn't.
Okay,
I didn't.
He was kayaking in the ocean, and literally a whale came up and just swallowed him whole, and it was the craziest. I've seen whales hit ships and like do stuff. This whale wanted this dude, or at least his kayak, and he was down for at least, I would say, between 20 and 30 seconds, like, under the water, and then you just see him and his kayak come up separately, like the whale was like, it's not teriyaki, spit him up out.
It tastes like shit.
Yeah. It's not, I was going to make a joke, but I'm not. I don't want to cut it out, so. But look up where it's from, and you might get what joke I might have made. But it's very funny and just really crazy to see, because that doesn't happen too often. That was just funny. I'm sure I could find it, but I'm not going to. That'd take too much time. I don't care that much. Oh, dude, this is from over the weekend. In your in your photos, and I'll throw them up here. But we touched on it for a second, but I wanted to talk about it. We were at Sportsman Outfitters in PA, and they had the largest cooler I've ever seen in my entire life that you could just regularly buy. So, so that cooler with me beside it, obviously, and there were I wanted to get in it, but there was too many people around.
Yeah, I was about to say, you could put a person in there.
There were footprints in there, so people definitely already fit in there. It weighed 100 pounds, which was pretty cool. 102 pounds to be exact. It is 450 quarts.
What do you haul that thing with if it's full? A fucking forklift?
I think that it's meant to be in the back of a truck, and my only idea is put a full elk in there once you harvest it off its bones.
Yeah.
Like all the meat and everything, like that type of stuff. But it's more to the point of, why the fuck are you spending $1,300 on a cooler? Like, oh my gosh, dude.
You know what's really funny, though, is you could pick that thing up with a forklift. It's got the little holes in the bottom of it.
That's hilarious. Well, then again, though, you would have to, once you got a bunch of elk in there, you packing 800 pounds of meat between two elk, you're probably not, you're not lifting, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's
no
hilarious.
Way,
So I wanted to throw that in there, and then the last thing, I'll just mention these. You guys can see these boots. I found these boots as well. What type of fucking girl that wears high heels is going to be like, you know what? I want to go to the mountains, and then are going to buy these shoes. Freaking ugly. Those are so absolute. They're called the Brex Heel Lace. They're waterproof, and they're retarded. They're only $50.
Shit.
They're on sale for $50 because I bet they've sold a total of 5 pair over 3 years. Very terrible. Very terrible. Very ugly. Do better. Do better.
Or just do fucking something else.
Or just never do that. Like, to do that, there's a reason that was never done before. Or if it was, it also failed, and, yeah, that was just ugly. But those were both the Sportsman Outfitters. That is a Cabela's for real outdoorsmen. That's the Cabela's without all the fluff and family stuff. Yeah. It was a really nice store. Yeah. Yeah, that was about it. That was about it from I just remembered that because I had, we were talking about that earlier. And I wanted to finish that conversation there. So yeah, that's a large cooler. Don't buy it unless you are killing 2 elks or bodies of any sort.
Yeah, dude, that cooler's fucking gigantic.
It's retarded, bro. It's absolutely retarded. Dude, did you see that Patrick Mahomes' father is freaking fighting in a in a rough and rowdy.
What? Where?
Yeah. I think it's West Virginia.
That'd be fucking sick. Who?
It was a West Virginia news page that shared it. It's why I'm thinking it's West Virginia. I don't know. Let me just Google it. It'll probably tell me.
What's his first name? His first name's also Patrick, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Patrick Mahomes Sr.
Yeah.
Senior. Not that.
I remember at the
Wheeling. Yeah, he's fighting him in Wheeling.
Huh.
Yeah, is that not wild?
That's awesome. We gotta go.
April 18th. So they're on April 18th. We'll have a conversation about it afterwards.
Yeah, that'd be
he's
fucking
facing
sick.
some other MLB player, former MLB player.
Wait. So he's facing the guy that he almost got in a fight with after the Super Bowl?
Is that John Rocker?
Yeah.
That's his name.
He almost
That's the
got
guy
in
that
a
showed
fight
up when
with
I just
that guy.
searched.
Yeah.
Well, that's hilarious. They are fighting in West Virginia. Yeah.
And the only reason I'm using those quotation marks is because if they're doing this, then that's why they fucking did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why they got into a public altercation. I don't know how you... I don't know, though. I mean, the rough and rowdy, what kind of publicity stunt and fucking rough and rowdy? Who even knows about that other than people that live there?
And that's my thought exactly. That shows the tier that, like, those guys are on because, first of all, and it's no disrespect to MLB players, there are more former MLB players than there are any professional athletes, and it's because pure numbers, and you're technically a professional if you play in any division, and there are so many divisions within the minors.
You're a pro in the minors, yeah.
You know? But I don't think either of them were really that good, which is probably why it has to be on Rough and Rowdy probably came to them after the Super Bowl and was like, hey, you guys want to fight in West Virginia? And both of them thought, like, that is a great place to get my name out.
Yeah, this guy's playing career was 5 years. I mean, that's 5 more years than I had. Not trying to throw shade on the guy, but...
No, we're comparing to people that actually consider themselves to MLB players. You know?
comparing him to his peers, not ours.
Yeah. He is absolutely an athlete, a professional athlete, and a world-class athlete compared to me. So I'm not downing that, but I am downing the fact that if he's fighting in West Virginia, it's probably going to be as good as what my fight would be in West Virginia.
Yeah.
And they're old. Like, they're fucking old.
Yeah,
so,
he's 50. I don't know how old old Pat is, but...
Yeah. They're just, no. Even, I'm sure if they only played that long, they're not going to be in 35-year-old shape. Like, 50-year-olds fighting are still 50-year-olds fighting.
Yeah.
But it's in West Virginia, so, I don't know. Maybe we look at getting tickets and we go and,
Okay, yeah.
talk about that
Pat Mahomes Sr. is 54. They played baseball around the same time, so I guess that makes sense. They probably actually know each other. And
that's what I thought they did. I didn't know that they had a feud beforehand.
Oh, so I didn't know that either. I didn't. I mean, I knew like the thing at the Super Bowl, but I didn't know if it dated back any further than that. I try not to pay attention to fucking beef from baseball players from 20 years ago.
I didn't even know that it was at. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that they had something at the Super Bowl because I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, it was some kind of altercation after the Super Bowl, I guess, and all they were doing was just like yelling at each other, talking shit. Everybody's like, "Oh, they almost got into a fight," and like, yeah, people almost get into a fight every day if that's what you call almost getting into a fight. They're just fucking yelling at each other.
Yeah,
like. By that logic, then I have almost been. By that logic, I've almost fought my parents.
They're pretty cheap tickets, $25 a piece. So
yeah, so nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Sounds like, yeah.
Which is about right. Which I like rough and rowdy fights, but I've never been to one in person, so I don't know.
They're entertaining. I have.
I like watching them online, but that really is it. But I think there's some dwarf fights there April 18th, so that would be good to watch because that's just fun. Those people they ball out.
Did Rough and Rowdy go to town before, like out like Glenville?
See, that's what I don't know.
Or
That's why
or was it something else?
I think it was something else because what was it? It was something else because it was something else that's held in Clarksburg. Was it the Tough Man?
The Tough Man.
I think it was the Tough Man.
That's what it was. It was the Tough Man.
Because I've been to Tough Man.
Because they've had
but
at
never
least
Rough and Rowdy.
they've had at least one of those at the Waco Center, if not two.
I've only been to I think one.
I know they had one whenever we went there.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've had another one since, but I know they've had one at the very least. Yeah, that's funny. I mean, I hope it's funny to see. Hope it's funny to hear about. I'll go into our next thing here, dude. We'll talk a little bit about sports if we haven't already.
Yeah.
Fucking, what do you think of the All-Star shit? Like, just the format, the way they did it. I didn't watch it, so I really don't know. But it seemed like just a tournament of pickup games, and I thought it was like kind of cool when I first heard about it. And then I'm just looking at the scoreboard, and I'm like, dude, how did anybody give a shit about this? Yeah. And I've seen a bunch of negative stuff online. I mean, you look on Twitter, you see negative stuff about fucking anything. They can cure cancer, and people find a way to bitch about it. Yeah. So I didn't know if it was really bad or not because, one, I didn't watch it, and two, I didn't. You know, if you get your opinion solely off of Twitter, it's always going to be a shitty opinion. So there's no point in checking there.
I like you starting off with saying you didn't watch it. I didn't watch it either, but I think that's what makes our opinion matter more because we have been fans all our lives and we didn't attempt to watch any of it. Which a lot of it does have to do with social media. Social media is so filled with that sort of stuff that you can basically watch it in recaps. But so we'll start. I'll just start with the things that I can just remember off the top of my head. So the dunk contest. I'm first of all, congratulations to Mac for winning that.
Yep.
And I'm going to take a big old fart on Blake Griffin because he shows you what really dunking over a car looks like. Yeah. Dunking over the front end of the hood of a car is not dunking over a car, Blake. And you being as big as you are and him being as little as he is, I hope you were like, oh shoot, yeah, I should have done that. That's what I should have done.
You know, from everything that I've seen on Blake Griffin, he probably was a really good sport about that. I would imagine he saw that and went, whoa, fuck. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, he probably really did appreciate that. He's probably like,
he's
okay,
funny.
Yeah, he is funny.
I've seen him on podcasts, and he's a funny dude. So, like, but I'm just coming from him. This is, like, just from a sports thing. Blake, if I ever meet you, I promise I'll be on my knees slobbering in my mouth. Oh. So, that's how I feel about, like, professional basketball players. You guys were childhood idols.
Especially him, dude. I remember.
Especially him.
He was like right when we were like middle school and shit, and the Clippers kind of, I don't want to say blew up because they never really won anything, but I remember the Clippers were really entertaining for a long time. Yes. Like Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan was fucking fun.
Yeah. So, but back to specifically with the dunk contest, I'm very disappointed with it. A lot of analysts I've seen have talked about it. I'm with them. I don't think LeBron is who ruined the dunk contest because LeBron is just the person just as big as Michael Jordan. He just, decided not to do it, so it's easier to throw the shade on him because it's every individual player's decision to not do that dunk contest. So he didn't ruin stars from not wanting to do it. It's just that as with everything in the NBA, and this is just my perspective, and like butt in at any point if you have something that you're thinking or that might contradict or just enlighten kind of something I'm saying. But for me, it comes from value and incentive. And when I'm paid what I am paid or expected to do what I am expected to do, or have the incentives that I have, whether it be from endorsements or from teams or from specific contracts, no. Going out and getting a dunk and participating in it will do nothing, especially if there's a chance that you may lose and people will only criticize you, which from LeBron's perspective specifically, he would only be criticized because he is such a great in-game dunker. but something did just overall there is an atmosphere to where it doesn't matter. Nobody wants to do it. And for me personally, I grew up on the dunk contest, dude. Right around this time, a week ago, if you would have started in mid-January all the way through on all TV stations, there used to be NBA TV, and all day long you could do nothing but watch the old All-Stars games, recaps. I don't know, maybe it also has to do with creativity, because you really, I personally am not impressed with... to me, no dunks that I've seen in the past 10 years actually deserve a 10. They only deserve a 10 on the scale of what can be done today that we haven't technically already seen.
Yeah.
Because after after the mid-2000s, it's like everything has been done. Or in terms of dunking, it's not impressive. And if you want impressive... Sorry, you got to do exactly like you're doing with Mac. You got to go outside of the actual NBA and get people that just are dunkers and know how to entertain people with it.
Yeah.
So I was disappointed with it, and that kind of just goes with everything. It goes with the All-Star format, the All-Star game themselves, the Rising Stars Challenge, the Skills Challenge. I know that there's too much money floating around, and there's not enough incentive on winning the stuff itself. Nobody cares about the stars. Nobody cares about all these little things. They care about where their money's at, and if they're already getting paid or if they're already doing this, I don't know. I found it funny whenever I watched Wemby and Chris Paul not try.
Yeah.
But it all, I was like, I can understand disqualifying them, because you never would have seen Manu Ginobili or Tony Parker and Tim Duncan not try. You know what I mean? And to me, I hold people to just what, you are an athlete. Show why you are the best in the world. Don't show what everybody else can do.
Yeah. Dude, my main problem, and I hate that this is my main problem with the All-Star break, but it is. So, I don't know if you saw it. My main problem with the All-Star break was fucking LeBron James. It wasn't for anything that you talked about.
I love this. I am almost certain I know what you're going to say.
The fucking team photo!
Yes! Why the...
What the fuck is wrong with that motherfucker, dude? Dude, I am fine with him not playing. I saw people all day bitch about he should have said something sooner. I don't care. I don't care if he didn't say anything sooner. I don't care that some reserve guy didn't get an extra spot. I really don't give a shit about that. He's 40 years old. I get it. He probably fucking hurts. This is a pointless game for him. But how in the fuck do you stand in that lineup of people for arguably the coolest basketball photo ever, and you don't put on a fucking uniform for 5 minutes?
Yep.
What the fuck?
He thought he was standing out for a cool reason.
Lame, dude. It's so fucking lame. I don't know why. I don't know what this guy's fucking problem is. I don't know why he couldn't put a basketball uniform on for a goddamn picture. And what would have been an iconic picture, the people that were in that fucking picture.
Seeing that photo and then constantly seeing that stupid-ass fucking commercial or, scripted thing from Kevin Hart putting on LeBron's shoes by LeBron's locker with LeBron's uniform directly in sight right there. The two of them coincided to give me that exact frustration that you just brought up.
Yeah. It makes me mad because it seems like a stupid thing to be mad about because it's such a little thing, but that's why I'm fucking mad. Because that was such a little thing. You couldn't have put on a uniform for I'm not bitching that he didn't play. I get it. It's an all-star game. He's been in 20 of them. Who gives a shit? He's 40 years old. He doesn't need to play in the all-star game. I'm not mad about that at all. How do you not put on a uniform for the most iconic all-star photo of all time that is not in game?
There's only one. So there's technically two reasons. One, I think you're either lazy and ignorant to it, or, and this is what I think it actually is, and it's what frustrates me. It's why I say, as somebody that's been a LeBron fan my entire life, I need him to retire so that he stops diminishing my thought and view of him. He's too arrogant in himself, and he probably went about it in, I'm going to be distinct and different. I'm the old veteran. Check me out, shrugging my shoulders. He probably still brought a fucking book into that stupid shit. Like, I am his biggest fan and has been his biggest critic over the last 5 years, and it's because he's going about the end of a career all wrong. Like and it goes back to you saying, like you said, I know it's little, but it frustrates you, and it should, and it's for the simple fact of it's little, dude, and you can't do that for, like you're saying, something that is iconic.
What would have been one of the coolest looking things of all time.
And now it's a photo that nobody's gonna ever care about.
It was every goddamn basketball player that we grew up on. All of the ones that formed our whole, like, not all of them, but like the main ones that formed like our teenage years when we were really, really, really paying attention to basketball. The Kevin Durant, James Harden, Steph Curry, like it had the whole lineup there, and it's like, how do you fucking do that? How do you not put on the uniform for what would have been one of the coolest goddamn all-star team photos ever?
Yep.
Like
I'm with you, man.
Sick as fuck, dude. I just took it away from everybody for whatever reason. I don't know if you wanted to be fucking different, if you wanted to stand out, or what.
I think that has to be it. Because he's not stupid.
Yeah. Like, I understand him not dressing for the game.
All the reasons you gave are valid reasons to not play. You will never. Everybody else still dresses for photos because you're an all-star. And if you participate in all these other activities or are around for all these other things, why can you not? It just upsets me. Because, like,
it's like if you don't give a fuck anymore, hang it up. Like honestly.
And that's what's upset me the past few years, because it seems like he's doing stuff just because he knows, one, longevity will reach certain milestones, and maybe it'll, like, quiet any conversations between him and Jordan.
Yeah.
But the only person that really have those conversations are people that are super old and have never actually watched LeBron, or kids that never got to watch Michael Jordan and are just licking the of LeBron.
Yeah. There's no right answer in the argument.
No.
And people
as
argue,
an adult,
some people argue till they're blue in the face, but
as an adult, I respect, like, you have to respect both for what they both did, because, like, just reverse both of them, and they're still, like, they're both making an impact in the time that they are. Like, it's unnecessary. But me, personally, I love that Jordan has shifted to NASCAR, and I hope LeBron shifts to being a good father. Or
I hope he shifts to something else.
Something else. Like, I'm hoping he just focus, and I don't mean like he's not a good father. I mean, like, I'm hoping you retire and, like, all right, bro,
focus on something other than basketball. Like,
focus. Yeah, let me just raise my daughter and spend time with my wife, who I've been with since I was 18. So really, have only spent, 10 years of my 20 years with her. If you look at basketball time,
people have loved this dude for the past 20 years. People have loved and hated this dude for the past 20 years. Like, stop. Like, either care or leave before nobody gives a shit anymore.
Yep. And that's a great way to put it, because that's what's happened to me is whenever he went to the Lakers, we know I never a Lakers fan, but for his legacy, I was like, I want him to win a couple more championships. I want him to be established once again, like, in another organization as, like, not only that guy, but that guy that led them to these things.
Yeah, led 3 different teams to these things. Yeah, it's like it's not easy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not taking anything he's done away, but it seems he kind of is overshadowing his own accomplishments in LA. And it's just it's wild that, like, something as simple as him not dressing for this photo could lead to this conversation, but it really shows the extent of, like, not caring on something little. Like, it just highlights a lot more, you know.
Yeah. It's like, how can I still be the main character after 20 years? That's what it is. Yeah.
And what
that's what it feels like. It might not be what it is. It's what it fucking feels like. It feels like, okay.
Well, you know what's frustrating to me, though? Aside from in the All-Star game, I saw Curry went off and fucking just drained threes. But, like, aside from that, he still, like, nobody's looking at any of those guys and comparing them to LeBron and being like, oh, yeah, that guy is LeBron. Every guy stands alone, and that's what that photo really showed and symbolized was, like, each of their roads and journeys and the time, like, they are the 2010 to 2020. Like,
they're last decade's stars. Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know.
With the exception of a couple of them. There were a couple of them that were kind of the younger people, I'm pretty sure. Not younger, but I didn't look at the roster entirely.
I didn't either.
Okay, yeah, Jason Tatum's in there. Sorry, that's not all of them. I like Jason Tatum, but not. I love Jason Tatum. Not all.
I like Jason Tatum. I like Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, he was in there. Damian Lillard, I think. This video's loading like shit.
Yeah, Damian Lillard hit a nasty three I saw on a recap video.
Yeah, that's like, man, it just could have been the coolest All-Star Game picture ever. Like, it could have been something that I looked at today and was like, hell yeah, that's pretty cool, man. That brings it back one last, ride with these guys that I grew up on. And then I look at one of them that's just didn't want to put on a uniform for a picture, and I'm like, what? Really? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It was just disgruntling, especially because that is just for social media, basically. So, and it's funny, if we both thought that, I know America probably thought that. So.
Oh yeah, I saw a lot of people pissed off about it, and then
good.
Of course, there's always the meat riders that are going to side with it. But I'm like, dude, it's.
You can't defend that decision. Here's the thing: they can't defend that decision for any reason. They can try to say he was doing that. You can't defend it logically.
Yeah, I'll defend him not playing in the game because that's what a lot of people were pissed off about. A lot of people were like, "Well, he should have said something sooner so reserve could have got in there." Like, no, there's already more All-Stars than usual. I don't think we need to bring in reserves. But like, I'm not mad at him for not playing at all. He's old. He's done this a billion fucking times. But look at the people. Like, look at the room. Like, read the room. Look at the people that are around you and think, wouldn't this be some of the coolest shit ever? Like, how did he not think that?
Yeah. You would have thought that he would have. It's funny, and he probably changed outfits 3 to 4 times that day. Yeah. So why couldn't you change into your basketball uniform that was neatly folded by a locker with your name on it with shoes that also have your name on it?
Yeah, and if you're not going to wear the uniform, then hand Kevin Durant the fucking basketball. Let him in the middle of the picture.
He shouldn't have been in it at all. If you're not playing and you're not even willing to dress, step out of it. Don't ruin that.
Yeah. You don't get to be one of the main characters in the picture alongside Steph, and you're not even in uniform. Come on.
No. That was a good point. That's a good one to end on the. Yeah. So All-Star break, kind of.
It under-delivered. I had high hopes for it. I thought it was gonna be pretty sick. I heard nothing but bad shit about it, and I know that the internet likes complaining, but man, if there's nothing but bad shit about it, it's
probably not good.
Because I didn't only look at Twitter.
Yeah.
If you only look at Twitter and you see nothing but bad shit, that's normal. But if you look anywhere else and you see a bunch of people that like just universally hate it, like, do something else. I don't know what Adam Silver's hard on for tournaments is. I don't even get why he's got to be like, oh, you get a tournament here, a tournament there. We'll put one in the season. We'll put one at the All-Star break.
They think that it's increasing fans, and they don't understand that all the money you're spending is exactly why you're losing fans. Like, it's taking away from the sport. The money that you're giving players is absolutely ridiculous, and then they're not incentivized to actually play in any sort of games. So you have people like Joel Embiid, who's made half of his total salary that he's made in the NBA. I think it's over. I think the number's way higher, but I'm just going to say over $100 million of what he's been paid in the NBA has been for sitting on the bench, and like that's an actual number. So it's not changing and adding in more things so that people see more of what you have. I don't know. For me, it's getting back to what it was and just delivering a good, clean sporting event. Like, that's all I care. I don't need sold on 40 objects or 40 items or companies. I don't need to know that, like, I don't know. It's just about fan experience.
Yeah. It looks like an example of just changing shit to change shit.
Yeah, which is definitely what's happening right now. They're in scramble mode. Right now, they're losing so much money in fans that they're like, "We'll try whatever." I heard a rumor that he wanted to add more games to the season or some shit. Like that's gonna do anything if people already aren't playing in games.
Yeah, you already got people sitting. You bump it up to what? They're already playing 82 for Christ's sake.
That's it's stupid, dude.
When I was younger, I remember them talking about here and there talking about lowering the number of games, and I hated it when I was younger. And then now I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can't keep track of 82 of them anyway.
Maybe he did say lower, but for some reason higher just sticks out more. So don't quote me on that, anybody. But either way, Adam Silver has no answers to improve the NBA. So don't listen to him.
This guy's just blindfolding himself and throwing darts.
He's just there. He was in second command whenever the real NBA commissioner fucking left. What was his name?
David Stern.
David Stern.
Yeah.
When David Stern left, that man knew how to run the NBA.
Rest in peace, David Stern. Did he leave or did he die? I know he died.
No, he left.
He left.
He left first. Yeah. He handed it over to him.
Yeah. Rest in peace, David Stern.
Again, I can give credit to the NBA TV. NBA TV on just all cable networks, but I had Dish. Used to be the shit because that's where I learned so many things about everything basketball. Like it helped drill more into me. What's funny is they never really showed anything past 2005. Like it was everything super old. I don't think I have anything sports related aside from one of the pictures, which you had said you'd seen those, but I want to mention them because I had never seen those, and if anybody has not, this just shows one of the cool things about sports.
The tactile things, yeah.
Yeah, the haptic feedback tactile pads. So these pads are built. I saw them made for the Blazers. I'll throw up a few photos here that I sent Wyatt, but for anybody that hasn't seen them, I saw them made for the Blazers, and I watched a demonstration of a guy using them, and they're for blind people so that they can attend sporting events. And they have them for baseball, hockey, soccer. They have them for every event now.
It is very cool. It's
very cool. The user puts their hands on it, and at any point there are buttons on one of the sides, and they can feel and get they read through vibrations, but they can get the score, the time.
Yep.
But on the actual screen, they're following. It shows where the ball and the players are, live feed, and it shows them when somebody scored. It tells them all the information that's actually going on. And it's just, for me personally, just for anybody that's a sports fan, that is awesome. And that's cool to see, and it's cool to see technology improving and actually being used for something only good.
Yep. It's awesome.
You can't find a bad spin on that.
No, you can't. If you can find something bad about that, you're an asshole.
Yeah, it's just a bad person.
Seriously, like if you can find something wrong with the little, and I don't mean something wrong as in a malfunction. If you can find something like bad,
yeah.
If you think that those things are wrong in any way, that should be the asshole test. You should just go around and show people like, hey, check this out. Like this lets blind people watch sports. And if somebody's like, oh, who gives a fuck? Like, all right, I don't want to know you that well, man. I'm gonna leave. That's gonna be my new asshole test. I'm just gonna show that to strangers, and their reaction is gonna determine how much I like them.
That's not a bad thing because a lot of people, first of all, they'll even jump the gun and that'll show you who they really are. Because some people would, like they'll. So
I'm pretty sure Jocelyn showed me one of those for the first time. I think she saw it on TikTok or something, and I was like, "That is fucking cool as fuck." Like, that's awesome.
I'm gonna get on and email me these photos so that I have it, dude. I'm on here. Okay, before we transition from sports, I'm wrong. I watched a little bit of the All-Star Weekend, and I found a way. I am the new commissioner. I found a way to improve NBA ratings, buddy.
And you be the commissioner. I'll go be the GM of the Mavericks.
I think that we have got this. I think that I've got this figured out. There are two things that we need to introduce to the NBA, and this is in all organizations have to institute. And there's 15-man rosters in terms of. Not practice squad.
I think it's 15-man max. Minimum, I think, is 12 or 13.
Okay. 15-man max. You have to, if you have 15, you have to have a minimum of 2 rednecks that wear jeans.
Shit. Yes. Yes, dude. That actually answers everything. Do you know how many times at lunch, back whenever we were in school, that I would go into the gym? I had no intentions of watching what was going on the floor, and I'd see some rednecks out there playing basketball in jeans. And I'm like, huh.
That is entertaining.
This is pretty funny.
You get nobody that tries better. You find out that, man, those people, some of them are real athletes, and the ones that aren't still just have freaking farmer strength, so they're still able to play good post, or if they aren't and they're small, they're still just going to run into guys until they get knocked on the floor, and they don't care. They'll get back up.
I remember seeing like a person or two that made me think like, well, damn, if that guy could read, he'd be one hell of an athlete.
I just think it's the way to go. And then on top of entertaining of what's on the court, and also drawing in a whole new side of revenue. I mean, you got to think Realtree is going to be all over one or two of the teams to sponsor it. Introduce some new G League teams. We'll call them B League teams, and they're just beer Bud Light teams, and freaking just.
Dude, that'd be sick.
But it would also open up your market for who you're drawing in. Like, you're bringing the NASCAR fans to basketball. You can't do better than that. You're bringing those people that are waking up at 5 in the morning to start farming, 4 in the morning to start farming. Well, you know what? I'm better wake up at 2 in the morning so that I can make it to the game there at 7, and I can watch these guys that I might know playing some Wrangler jeans and some boot cuts and freaking just slam down on some people.
Yeah. Some days they might even go to work earlier so they can drive by your house real loud.
Oh my gosh, that's
so they can get off work.
They just let you know what all they got
PM.
Inside the truck.
Get off work at 5 p.m. and be real loud by yours and my mom's house. That'd be funny, because if I was back visiting home and I were to be recording and that were to happen, you would hear it on both ends.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll happen eventually.
I'm sure it will happen eventually, yeah.
But I wanted to throw that in there before I emailed those photos, just because I saw that real quick. I thought that was funny. That's funny.
Yeah, that is a pretty good one, dude.
Oh, fuck. Man, I don't really follow music much more, but aside from the people that like we listened to whenever I was young, I mean, because I got so much going on, and I'm just not a music person. I'm weird. But Wiz Khalifa's got OJ and Kush 2 coming out, and
really?
I'm super. That comes out in like April, and I'm super excited for that. But what made me find the information on that was I found a clip of him singing with Black Boy Max, which I'd never heard of before, on a song called London Layover. Bro, it reminds me of old school Wiz Khalifa. I like the old school songs. Yeah, you can play it.
What's up?
That'd be cool. You can play it if you want. That'd be cool.
Oh no, I'm just looking it up trying to find it.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, so we wouldn't get copyrighted, but it is awesome. Really surprised me. Everybody should check that out. But then that made me find OJ and Kush 2, and I said, well, wow, that's that actually, I know that, so that I'm excited to hear the second album come out. That was a long time ago, bro.
2010.
That was a long time ago.
2010.
Is that when it was?
I believe so.
Oh, fuck, I was thinking like 12. 13.
Yep.
Like, I was thinking like high school, but that's like start of middle. That's 6th grade, start of middle school.
April 14th, 2010.
Bro, holy shit. We were in 6th grade. That is...
It's old.
Wild. That's awesome.
It's crazy that we were that young and we knew about that. Living where we lived. Yeah, you know what? We were pretty cultured for where we were at. I attribute that to having some cool friends. Yeah, I had an older brother. That's why I got I got a lot of it from an older brother. Not that in specific, but that genre of music was put on to me by.
I was a little kid, but I had cool friends on the bus. I just had cool friends on the bus.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, I got all kinds of bus stories, but that's fun. That's for another thing. Mr. Red, did you see Elon had another kid? That's his 13th kid.
What the hell?
5 months ago. This man is trying to I feel bad for his kids. I think his plan is to actually, in about 25 years' time, he's going to drug them all and put them all on one of his finalized ships, and they are all going to have to colonize Mars. I think that his plan is to send all of his own children to Mars.
I do think he's a weird cat, dude. I wouldn't put really much anything past him at this point. I used to think a lot more highly of him than I do now. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. He's a genius, and he's
awesome.
Fucking
smart, yeah.
But I think it just shows what geniuses are.
He's a fucking weird cat. Yep. I don't. Really. Yeah, I used to consider myself a fan, and then recent years happened, and I'm like, this guy is weird as hell.
He's really good for society, but my gosh, socially he is
strange. He's a weird cat.
He's a conversation starter at the least.
That's a way to put it, yeah.
Dude, I was watching, or I was scrolling through Facebook. I was listening to Financial Audit, some videos, and I was scrolling through, and for some reason, in between those videos, a conspiracy theory video popped up. It's the weirdest conspiracy theory I've ever heard, and it was the dumbest one I've ever heard, and I hope this guy was not serious. But he tried linking Mountain Dew releases to horrible world in U.S. events. Like, he linked, 9/11 to Code Red.
No! Not Code Red!
Yeah, blackout to whenever all the power went out and those planes crashed.
What about Whiteout? Did anything bad happen whenever Whiteout came out?
I didn't watch the video long enough because it frustrated me. He gave another one, and it was to
if it's saying something bad about Baja Blast, I'll fuck him up, dude. What?
I don't know what it was, but it's more just to the point of, I am so, the internet is made for retards and made for you to say what you want, but,
unfortunately, it is. I don't think it was originally designed like that, but that is what it's shifted to recently. Yeah, I think it was originally supposed to be an infinite bank of knowledge, which it still is if you're not a
still is.
Yeah, if you're not a moron, you can still find it. But yeah, if you're a moron, you just use it to argue and be a moron. So who can be a moron louder?
Yes. It is. Yeah.
That's what it is, dude.
Well, this guy was the loudest moron I've heard in a long time.
Well, that fucking idiot had more likes than this complete dumbass right here, so we're going to side with the idiot.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we have to. But it just frustrates me because why is that even put on? Why is that, that is so dumb that it wasn't even funny. There was nothing funny about it. It was just stupid. And it's the type of thing where those type of people, I know this guy was probably only saying it so that he could get clipped and then could get viewed a bunch. But there's also people that probably actually think that.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I don't know. You think what you want, but my biggest thing with conspiracy theories, because I've heard some things that my cousin's a crazy conspiracy theorist, and he thinks all these things. Here's the thing: conspiracy theories started because, and a lot of them hold merit to a certain point. But even if every conspiracy theory you hear is real, what is the point in freaking out if you can't do anything to change it, you can't do anything to affect it, you can't do anything to negate it, and you can't do anything to help yourself? Well, why don't you just stop paying attention to the things that don't affect you so that you can actually start improving your life or focusing on something that you enjoy instead of becoming that weird fucking nuthead that's always screaming or talking about things that that hold no merit.
That one's real stupid too.
Dude,
I've heard some that are stupid, and then like years would pass, and then I'm like, oh, okay, there was something to that. Maybe that wasn't as stupid as I think it is, and this one's stupid.
That one's I literally,
really stupid.
I made note mentally that it was the dumbest conspiracy theory that I've ever heard.
Oh damn, yeah, and I've heard some dumb ones,
and I've heard some dumb
super
conspiracy theory, like the conspiracy theory that we were that humans were genetically engineered by the Anunnaki to mine for gold, and that's why, like...
Yeah, we're doing a bad fucking job.
For no reason of it, we mine for... Yeah, because we all, like, got older and realized, oh, this doesn't actually hold value if we don't give it value.
Yeah, and they designed us like shit. We have all sorts of design flaws.
But just so everybody knows, I did do the math because I am a bullion guy. Dude, this is crazy. 2 tons or 6 tons of gold. 6 tons of gold account to price value wise as of Friday afternoon was like $260 to $280 million. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it. That for silver is 2.8 million, 2.6 million.
Cool. Like, if anybody wants to give us those weights in those metals, feel free.
Yeah, I'm a big silver guy. I love silver. It's just, it's affordable, but it's also expensive when you're a broke guy from Gilmer County. So yeah, give us those metals. We were watching a podcast and talking about, I was teaching Faith about bullion, and we were talking about like the weight between.
You're teaching her about bullion. Oh
yeah,
no.
Bullion
I thought you said bullying.
No.
I was like, what? She's a teacher.
No.
I think she knows about that.
Well, we wouldn't have been married if I didn't give her the rundown beforehand. We're good on that.
That's true, too, yeah.
It's bullion, precious metals.
Yeah, I forgot that you had just said that a minute ago, and I was like, wait, he's teaching her about who?
Yeah. This is really interesting for anybody that might not know, just so that you do know now. I doubt you know, Wyatt. Whenever it comes to bullion, gold, silver, copper, all that, traditionally it is weighed differently. There is not 16 ounces in a pound. So whenever they say 12 tons, the ton is a different weight. But price-wise, it's the same value. It's why you have to look at it, and I'll get to that in a second. Bullion is weighed in Troy, which is like, the old Roman city. There was so those calculations. So in Troy pounds hold like 12 ounces. So a 12 ounce compared to 16 ounce. But also the difference is that a Troy ounce compared to a regular ounce has 28 grams. I know that from all my extracurricular activities. Now, regular bullion, which is now my extracurricular activities, that is always
back when
weighed.
You were in the store.
Yeah, back when I was the store and had all of the needed goods. But bullion's weighed at 31.38 or something like that grams. So whenever you convert those extra grams over the extra ounces, it helps to equal out the extra weight. But people like try to say like, oh, it's just a confusing thing. It's just like the news. It's like I said earlier when Fox News said there's a hamster fight club. Like, yes, but like elaborate so that people don't actually think like there's a difference in the shit. The weight is the same. You're just saying it in Latin basically compared to 21st century. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is just stupid.
I've heard the terminology before, the Troy stuff, but I didn't know what it meant, and I didn't look any further into it. I had seriously just heard it in passing, and I don't know where or how, but I did.
Well, and you could have heard it in movies and stuff. And
that's probably exactly what it was a movie. And I was like, I don't know what that means, but okay.
Unless you're into bullion or a historical person, you probably wouldn't know. The only reason I do is because of bullion, and I just, but that was interesting. You know what? That'll just lead into, because we were talking about movies, I'm going to give a quick review. Me and Faith watched Gladiator 2, the Gladiator movie that just came out. After 24 years, the sequel came out. And I have to just, it was absolutely awesome. It was absolutely awesome. Everybody should watch that. You should first watch the first Gladiator, because they do tie it together, and it is very great. It is a great movie.
Hell yeah, dude. That's actually good. I watched something over the weekend too. I guess I could talk about that.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, let's
it.
just go ahead and talk about that.
I watched it yesterday. I might get the name wrong. That's Jocelyn. What was that thing we watched? Is it The Haunting of Hill House? Yeah. I was making sure I got the name right. The Haunting of Hill House. We watched it on Netflix. It was like a series, and it was. I'm not gonna like get deep into it and spoil anything because that's actually the thing that I liked about the show was figuring it out. Because it's kind of a pain in the ass to figure out. But like once you figure it out, you're like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. It's a good little story. It's got like 10 episodes or some shit. Mm-hmm. It's fun if you like horror stuff. It's not that scary. Every once in a while, you'll have a jump scare. Like that was the only time that I just whenever something popped up, I'm like, ah, Jesus.
Yeah.
But no, it's a good story though. Like in terms of horror shit, and in terms of Netflix shit, like in terms of Netflix original stuff, it kind of delivered. We've spent out of our 8 weeks we've done this, we've spent probably 3 or 4 of them probably shitting on Netflix. So I'll give them a good one. That was I think you should watch that if you do get a minute. It's fun.
I'll give Netflix props right now too. Netflix just added the third season of Resident Alien, which we talked about earlier, a couple weeks ago. They
Son
just
of a
added
bitch!
the last 8 episodes of it. So everybody, go and watch our episode 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 7, and you will find that review.
What an order!
And
God, you got them all too. 3, 4,
you gotta watch that number.
7. No, yeah, go watch the shit out of that show. It's also
but
all
that show is great.
It's also all on Peacock, and apparently
it's also on Peacock.
Apparently, it's now also all on Netflix. Yeah, because originally it was only like Netflix only had season 1 and 2. Yeah,
that's what we watched it on, and then we came back, and if it wasn't for me having your Peacock stuff, I wouldn't even have been able to watch season 3 until now, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, Peacock as well. But Netflix has some good shows. They got some good stuff coming out. I do have to shit on their comedy, though. Even their Tom Brady roast, it wasn't that good of a roast. They just had a bunch of faces.
Yeah, it's because they did. I think it's because they fucked that up because they did it live. They made it so long. I think we also went on a big tangent about that before.
Probably. But comedy's also going downhill. But go and see live comedy, because live comedy is 12 times better than anything you'll see on TV.
Live anything, I think, is better than anything you'll see on TV. Yeah. For the most part. Live anything that I've been to, I'm like, okay, this is sweet. Like even going to a sporting event live, even if you're in the nosebleeds, it does not matter.
It doesn't matter. I have been right in the center of Heinz Field. I've been below center of Heinz Field, and I've been at the very top. It's the same experience.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun. Aside from weather-wise, it's not the same experience weather-wise. Actually, I'll take that back. If it's raining and stuff, it's not the same experience.
Yeah, no. If it's raining and cold around here, it sucks.
It sucks. Yeah. You are cold. Yeah. Cold so be.
Yeah, dude, that's cool. I didn't know. You know, now I wish I would have waited, because I remember when I found out that season 3 of that show was out. I was like, I gotta find out where it is. I gotta find out how I can watch it. I don't want to wait for it to come out on Netflix. If I knew it was gonna come out on Netflix like a month later, I would have waited. I would have waited, and then I would be the happiest person in the world right now. I would have known exactly what I was doing when I got off of this call. But now we already watched it. So
I don't know if you have watched it. You should watch the show Bones. Bones is on Hulu or something. Bones is a great show. It's
Bones is awesome. I used to watch it with my mom, like when I was a kid.
Me and Faith love that show. That's a great show.
Yeah, it's been around forever.
There's a new show I was gonna wait to review, but everybody should check out High Potential. I've probably already talked about it once, but if I don't think I have, because I was wanting to wait. But if you've ever watched The Mick, it's the same actress that's in The Mick, which is like a babysitter show. But
a babysitter.
Well, they do that, but it's a great show. It's about a woman that is she has a high IQ, but she's also very intuitive, and she's like a normal person like us in terms of education and like, you know, the locations we're based in, like being in Gilbert County and just this type of person. But she's based in LA. But she ends up helping the police department, and it's if anybody ever watched the show shout out to the show Psych.
Psych's awesome. We watched Psych in college. I think me and you we would sit down in your room and just like I wouldn't. I didn't even intend on doing it. I would just come home from class. I'm like, oh shit, you're watching Psych. I'd take a seat and we just sit there and watch Psych for hours.
was fucking... Psych is one of the best shows ever. But it's like Psych just without her being a psychic. It's literally that stuff.
Okay.
And then also she is, whereas Spencer's not a genius, she is actually a genius as well.
There's no way they still make new episodes of Bones, right? That show had to have ended by now.
No, Bones ended. Yeah, I think it's got like 10 or 11 seasons though.
Yeah, it went on for a long time because I remember watching it when I was like young. I remember watching it with Mom. Mom loved that show. Bones.
I just got into it.
House was the shit.
House was good. I watched House a few years ago. I got into it a few years ago after I got off of what's that really girly medical show? Grey's Anatomy. After Grey's Anatomy got too much like a drama story and too unlike real life and hospital life, it started becoming Days of Our Lives type of show to me. I switched to House, and it became so entertaining because I was like, man, if I was a doctor, I'd be like him. Like, just an arrogant smartass that's probably right, but needs to be told, like, dude, come on.
You know what? This would have been good. This would have been good for a list, but I already had a list idea this week, and we already named a shitload of them. So I think we should definitely table a TV show list for another week.
No, you know what?
Unless you want to do it now, the way I see it, we already named a few, but we also still know a few though.
Let's save the list, but that does lead into something. I sent you a picture. Does anybody in our podcast at all, anybody listening to this podcast, remember the TV channel Jetix?
My God. I wanted to say something the second I saw that picture, but I wanted to wait.
I screenshotted this picture because it is, and I'll throw it up right now because it shows you, like, what all they had.
Oh, dude, it's beautiful.
It flashes you back to anybody that's our age or close to childhood. Absolutely amazing. Let's just talk about some of the things. Like, they got Power Rangers Dino Thunder.
Beyblade,
they've got
Digimon.
Recess, Digimon. They've got Hercules. They've got Timon and Pumbaa. They've got Rocket Power in the back. It's absolutely... And they had a bunch of other shows. I can list off the shows that they had specifically just so everybody knows. And off of these shows, I'll talk about some of my favorites, but there was actually, I'll only talk about my favorites because they had a lot. But does anybody remember... if you grew up around our age, obviously you liked Spy Kids or anything spy related.
Yeah.
Do you remember the show based on the teenage girls Totally Spies?
I remember hearing about it. I don't remember watching it. I don't remember what it looked like. If you were to show me like a screenshot of it,
I'm going to send it
without the logo. Like if you were to show me a clip from the show, I wouldn't be able to tell you what it was.
I'll send the logo to you now to see, and I'll put it up here just so everybody can see, because even as a guy, I watched this because this was a damn good show. This was a great show. Especially for its time, like, to keep up with guys, it was awesome. But Jetix had Sonic shows.
No, I remember that show. I do remember that show. Yep.
I'm gonna send some more whenever I take them, but these ones I won't send. But they had a Sonic X show. They had Spider-Man shows. There who had some of the last few, actually the last Power Rangers I ever watched, which was Power Rangers Mystic Force.
Yep.
Power Rangers Mystic Force I did watch, and it was awesome. But they also are the ones that had SPD and Dino Thunder, which makes sense why I was so heavy on this channel, you know. And Ninja Storm. We talked about that last week.
We talked about literally those three.
Yes.
The last three that you just named were what we talked about last week.
And what's funny is I also watched this one, but forgot to mention it. Power Rangers Operation Overdrive. I watched that one as well.
I don't remember that one. I think I was out by
but they had shows like The Tick. They had Kong, which I watched.
I remember The Tick.
They had Jackie Chan Adventures, which I remember.
Yeah.
They were the original host of one of the Goosebumps shows.
Really?
I'll send you this show. Do you remember the Yin Yang Yo? Do you remember this? The title didn't make me remember, but seeing this photo does.
Barely. I barely remember that, yeah.
Dude, that was awesome. But just Jetix in general. Jetix, that's a cool freaking... They switched over to... They were originally on ABC Family, and then they switched over to Disney before they went off air. But that's just a cool era. That's
Damn,
doesn't have to...
dude, that was awesome. The whole Jetix era was awesome. Feels like a fever dream.
Yeah, and that's at the same. And that's what's funny is that is the same time that Codenames Kids Next Door was out. That's the same time.
They were on Cartoon Network, weren't they?
They were on Cartoon Network. And Cartoon Network had a million shows that were freaking
damn,
great.
What a lineup they had. Yeah, Ed, and Eddie.
Like, Ed and Eddie was great. I liked A Foster's House for Imaginary Kids. I liked... You know what's funny, though? Whenever they switched to Adult Swim, as a child, I liked the Adult Swim shows. As an adult, I did not like the Adult Swim shows. I thought they were a lot dumber as an adult than what I remembered.
I still like some of them, like Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I still love that shit.
See, I only remember...
Not a big fan of Robot Chicken anymore, though. I used to love Robot Chicken. I don't care too much for Robot Chicken.
I only like certain episodes of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and the rest I'm like... What drugs were these guys on when they were just because obviously because of the characters they're like, who thinks of that, you know?
Do you remember on?
That's great.
Do you remember on fucking when they went to Adult Swim when they had Toonami? It was
Toonami was.
It was like it was an hour or two of like anime. They'd play like Naruto and Bleach and what else was on there? They had just a few different old animes that were on there, but I always remember watching Naruto on Toonami like fucking religiously.
Yeah, they had. I'm trying to find the ones that I watched. That's where Yu-Gi-Oh was on, which makes sense. That's what Yu-Gi-Oh was on. That makes a lot of sense. They had the Batman Beyond shows, which I'm not surprised of. Voltron was on there. Okay, I watched Voltron. Yep, Dragon Ball Z. Jackie Chan's Adventures was on there, which also makes sense. Transformers was on there. There was a Transformers show.
Okay, so it wasn't an anime thing. It was just an entire fucking...
Yep. Thundercats was on there. Yeah, okay.
Samurai Jack was on there too, probably, right?
I actually don't see Samurai. I see He-Man. I don't see Samurai Jack for some reason.
Dude, Bakugan
was on there. Yeah.
Damn, yeah, I forgot about that.
Samurai Jack's there. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
I remember the Toonami guy, like the mascot, like the big robot guy that would sit there.
Oh,
and
bro,
talk,
he was
like, after the commercial breaks. He'd sit there, and he had a very distinct voice. I could hear that voice right now, and I'd be like, "Oh shit, that's the Toonami guy."
You know what? I'm gonna put up a photo of him.
Of the Toonami guy? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta look him up right now so I can see him. There he is. Yeah, dude. What the fuck did they do to him?
They changed him. I'm showing the original and the one that they did before they,
Toonami Tom.
He was not that gay though.
Nah, whenever we were kids, he looked fucking sick. He looked like a Power Ranger.
But yeah, Toonami was dope.
Yeah, they
shows are just cool. Kids shows were awesome. Kids shows are awesome. That's the best thing.
Some of them still are. Some of them still hold up. Fairly Odd Parents is still good.
Rugrats is still good.
Rugrats is still good. Jimmy Neutron's still pretty good.
Yeah, Jimmy Neutron will always be hold up.
SpongeBob never dies. There's no way.
You know what's funny is certain SpongeBob's, like, I get a nostalgic feeling for certain ones, but overall I'm actually not a fan of SpongeBob anymore.
Really?
Yeah, but for Valentine's Day I did buy Faith. Me and Faith, I bought her a set. We each have one of the best friend rings that Patrick and SpongeBob have each other, and you open it up and it actually has Patrick and SpongeBob that flip out, and then it spins just like theirs did. So
that's awesome.
It's kind of... Yeah, it was cool.
That's fucking sick.
So nostalgia reasons, I'm still all over it, but in terms of watching it, I just can't really get behind it. Only because the ones that I enjoy, I've seen so much, I'll quote whenever I watch them, so it's just hard to know.
I'm still a big fan of the movie. I love the movie, the original.
The original movie with David Hasselhoff is great. Yes. Yep, I'm all over that as well.
Yeah, dude, I think we'll definitely have to break out a TV list. We'll have to break it into categories. We've seen a lot of shows.
Yeah,
so
we've seen a lot.
We'll have to do like an animated week and a not animated week. I think we'll have to do a sitcom week. We'll have to. We got our next like fucking 4 or 5 lists right there.
Yeah, plus that'll be good anyways, because it'll just be a nostalgia thing for us too, to go back and revisit and remember,
Yeah, we'll have to set aside a little bit of extra time for that one, because I feel like we'll deep dive into those sumbitches. I can't wait. I want to propose our list for this week, 5 of them. I think this one, it's going to be... So here's the way I thought about it. I didn't tell you about it ahead of time because I literally thought about it probably 45 minutes before we got on here. Because I thought we did toys last week. So I think games would be a good thing to go to this week. I know you don't play as many games as I do. But that's why I think we're about on an even playing field here. Because you surely have at least 5 that stick out to you. I have to dig for mine.
Yeah.
And we can, any era, we can go fucking when we were kids, we can go right now, we can go VR, we can go console, we can go computer, we can go mobile. You can go mobile if you want to. You can seriously pick a mobile game. As long as it's played on a screen and it requires a charge or electricity of some sort, then...
I'll try to include some of all those, and I'll pick them all for different reasons.
Yeah, well, I'll let you go first on this one since I proposed the list, and since...
Okay. So number 1, just a cool game that I remember from childhood I'm going to start out with, is Subway Surfer overtook us in middle school. And I remember Subway Surfer, everything from the beginning of the days when you'd get dropped off early and we'd have to wait for the bell to ring before we'd go to our lockers, so everybody just sat at the lunch tables in middle school and just chilled, to actually sitting during lunch and playing that, or sitting during class and playing that and trying to get the highest score. Yeah. That game, and I'm just going to throw this in there because it's a mobile game as well. I just thought of it, or I just lost the name of it. What is that game Doodle Jump.
Was it Doodle Jump or Temple Run?
It was Doodle Jump. Temple Run's a good one, but Temple Run was Subway Surfer before Subway Surfer, you know.
Dude,
but it's just...
I'll give Haley a shout.
That's what made me think of it.
I almost worded that the wrong way. That woman.
The woman. Yes, we both said it. That's funny.
She wouldn't care if we worded it the way I was going to word it, but I'm not going to do that on the video.
I don't want other people to.
That woman played the hell out of those mobile games whenever we were in elementary school, middle school. She was a boss with
TV, with phone games, bro.
Dude, whenever she would show me her Temple Run score, it would light a fire inside of me. It would piss me off. Because I knew I could never touch it.
She had the highest Doodle Jump score I've ever seen on anybody.
Yeah, for sure.
Ever.
For sure, hands down. She was a Doodle Jump master. I didn't understand it.
Her hand-to-eye coordination in middle school was on point.
I want to run into her sometime and just hand her one of these mobile games and be like, dude, do it.
Like, hey,
do it.
Right now. Drop your kid, pick up the phone. Yeah. Let's go.
No, the next time I see her, I'm gonna try to remember that. I haven't seen her in like a year, but if I ever
shout out Haley, she's pregnant again. She's got baby number 2 on the way.
Yeah, so dude, good for her. Good for her. I hope that she's still good at mobile games because I'm gonna put her on the spot next time I see her, whenever that may be. It might be 10 fucking years, dude. But if I see Haley again, I'm gonna. Okay.
Her sons probably will be.
They better be.
They'll want her to be. Well, I'll go. My number 2 I'm going to start out with is my first memory of video games ever is a PlayStation 2, or the original PlayStation. My grandpa Willard had it. He probably still has it. But whenever I was stupid young, he had bought it whenever it first came out. But he had a sand rails game where you would literally just play as various vehicles in the dunes, and you would just race. That game was super, super basic, but I can remember plugging it in and sitting on his super old, on the old fireplace that was in the dining room, and just playing the crap out of it with him and playing on it from the couch, and as a childhood memory. So I'm throwing that in there as number 2. So number 3, I'm gonna throw out to Midnight Club, Dub Edition specifically. those games and that game specifically was a pivotal moment in me turning into somebody that enjoyed hip-hop music. And it's only because it's where I was introduced to it was Grand Theft Auto for me before I played any Grand Theft Auto games, because you could switch through the channels, play different music. And then just for a racing game and a car customization game, I had it for the original Xbox. I had all the Midnight Club games. Absolutely sick. So Midnight Club Dub Edition specifically. Number 4, I'm going to shout out Black Ops. I would shout it out as 5. Black Ops 4, this is my number 1 favorite games ever. Number 4 is actually Black Ops 3, but number 4. That game is the game that I've put in the most time on. It's the game that I believe that I'm the best, that I've ever been the best at, especially like free-for-all and stuff like that. I don't know many people that can outplay me on that. I'd still put myself up against most. Shout out. Freaking, probably my first year with you, I think, is whenever I was ranked, but I was ranked nationally on free-for-all because I was fucking like... Dude, 30 and 1 or 30 and 0 multiple times. Like,
I remember that I was so bad at Call of Duty, I didn't want to believe it, and I had to sit in there and watch you do it, and I'm like, what the hell?
Black Ops 3 free for all, I am a killer.
Yeah, it was so nuts. I remember Black Ops, because it was Black Ops 3 that you always played, because I remember Black Ops 4 came out, and you didn't even play it.
No, I just kept with Black Ops 3 because it was still, as long as it was still online. And now, like, free-for-all in general is my favorite, but, like, I was devoting so much time and so seriously into gaming, and then obviously because of the variations and the booster packs and then the perks that you could get within Black Ops 3, it helped me. But, yeah, Black Ops 3, specifically free-for-all, hands down my favorite game ever made and favorite game mode ever made. If anybody wants to run it back, tell them to throw the server back online, because I try to get on every 6 months and it isn't on, and let's
just get a small group of people to play locally. Black Ops fucking 3.
Dude, that would be fucking fun. That would be so much fun.
Just get like 8 people, dude. Do 4s locally in a big room, like old, like 2000 style. Whenever y'all meet up and do Ethernet cable running to everything, it'd be such a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, you know what? I'll just go to number 5 again. That's my favorite. Everybody should know. Number 5, I'm gonna do an honorable mention of Grand Theft Auto 5, because that has been a game that I've spent one of the most hours playing. But it's an honorable mention just because everybody could put that in there for various reasons.
Dude, yeah, it's a good thing that I let you go first, because I was gonna take that one, because I just started playing it again. But
you can throw that in there, because that's an honorable mention for me. I'm not mentioning why. My number 5, all of mine usually have sentimental value, I suppose, or like tied to it to a sense. This is MX versus ATV.
Oh shit!
Unleashed specifically. So those games are another thing that me and my younger brother Ryan bonded over and was able to relate over, because that's one thing, like, between him being more country and me being less, both of us enjoyed writing that sort of stuff and playing video games. So getting to bond over that and play that, it's just a memory that flashes me back. And now that my little brothers Hayden and Parker have consoles, my little brother Hayden has, and they still make those games. And watching him play that, it might have been even a year ago, but I don't know. I just watched him play it, and ever since then, like, it's in my head that, dude, those games are not only fun and realistic, and like, I have some from PlayStation Plus, but they're just great games overall, and I know they have to be core memories for so many people.
Yeah, they're very good. Yeah. I'm glad you threw that one in there, because that's not one that I would have thought of. That is a damn good list. That's a damn good list.
Thank you.
And there's damn good reasoning behind every one of them. I like that out of the Black Ops that you picked, I don't think you picked the best Black Ops game, but
it's not the best Black Ops game.
You picked the one that you liked the most, because you were the best at it, and I appreciate the shit out of that. That's a good one.
That's a selfish reasoning, I suppose. Yeah.
No, it's good though, because I think that's why I think that's kind of every list that we make. I don't think Every list that we made so far, we haven't picked the best shit. We picked the shit
personal
we
interests.
Like the most. Yeah, and
I like that.
And I'm gonna do the same thing right now.
Awesome. We'll start it off there. Start off with your number one, and then give me your number one. You can give me multiple reasons, but give me your number one reason for choosing your number one game.
Oh, so like my top favorite one. That's a toss-up. That's a toss-up.
No. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that would be hard.
Well, I can think of two. I thought of two.
Okay, then I'll give it to you like this. Give me your top two games that are your favorite could be of all time over specific time, and then your top reason for each. What makes each special or like fun or whatever reason. What makes it stand out to you?
I'm gonna start with Wii Sports. That was a goddamn game changer. That was the craziest shit. That brought families together on so many different levels. That was the no disrespect to my family. I love my family. I think the most together my family ever was growing up was whenever Wii Sports came out, and whenever my next one came out. I'll talk about my next one too. It's also big. But Wii Sports, dude, I just remember sitting in the living room, bowling. All of us bowling, baseball. We do like doubles tennis tournaments because there was four of us. There was Mom, and then Mom's ex-husband, and then me and Josh. So there was four of us. So we would just duos on tennis. Like everything was fun. The bowling was a fucking blast. The bowling was like the top one. We do like boxing tournaments and shit. But like we played when the Wii came out, and I begged my parents for one, and then I finally got one, and then they ended up liking it probably just as much as I did because we just all played the shit out of it.
Yeah.
But Wii Sports is up there.
I'm absolutely there. I'm just gonna tag in probably at the end of each one of yours if I have something to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is absolutely true. What's funny is I almost threw in VR in it. That is the first version of VR anybody could have. That is
it wasn't, but it was. Like if anybody, because
you're mimicking.
It's funny because I knew what you meant. Like when you said it, I'm like, it kind of sort of was. Like you didn't have the goggles, but you felt there. You felt in
You're
the game.
doing the motion more than just this or whatever it may have been. It doesn't matter. Like whatever game you're playing. Yeah. But I really am with you. That right there, and your reasoning for it, even more so. Because like I consider myself to have had a close family with like my two siblings when I was growing up, and my mom and my dad. But like, it really did. It gave you an extra reason to get together for an hour on a random, like every evening or just on a random weekday. Like you just get in the living room and hang out together.
And it would also like I'd bring it to my dad's too. So when I go to dad's, me, Dad, and Logan would play Wii Sports. Like it was universal. Like I remember just boxing and playing bowling and all this shit, dude. Yeah, it was a blast.
That's awesome. That's a great one to start off with. I like that being up there, and I love the reason. I love all these are in a way sentimental or like I don't know. I like your reasoning for that. Yeah. Sorry.
Out of all of mine, it might surprise you, but I think out of all of mine, it's gonna be a bunch of shit I do not play today. Because like
that doesn't surprise me at all, to be honest, because games have dropped off way more than what they.
There might be one that I still play today if I can't think of anything else that like tops it, but the number two is going to go along the same lines, probably even more so. I think this one, if I had to pick between Wii Sports and the next one I'm about to say, I'm going to say the next one, Rock Band.
Rock Band's a great one.
When Rock Band first came out, especially because I fucking love music. That's why I started loving music. Is Rock Band Guitar Hero, but the first Rock Band and then Guitar Hero World Tour, which was the first Guitar Hero with the whole band set up. That was the best shit ever. And that was like the same thing, dude. That was every weekend, like every Saturday, Sunday, like my whole family would spend the entire time in the living room just fucking playing music. Like and there were four of us, which there were four instruments. Because there was somebody play guitar, bass, drums, and somebody'd sing. And then we just like went to town all weekend just playing Rock Band, just trying to get good. We got pretty good. We definitely got pretty good. Josh was fucking killer at Rock Band, but he's a computer nerd, and I'm a computer nerd too. But if you've ever seen this man type, it's fucking ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. He definitely grew up on video games, which I think I went a little harder on the video games, but his hand-eye coordination does not make any sense to me. So, but yeah, dude, Rock Band's definitely number 2. That's a damn good one.
That's a great one, man. So many childhood memories I have from that, and a lot of it, honestly, is more from friends and being at friends' houses or from being at school in general. Troy Elementary was really awesome. And I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm going to throw this one in there, too, because it made me think of it. At Troy, we had the Rock Band set up, so we'd always play.
Really?
And I just think, yeah, so I always think of me and Colby and everything, because me and Colby were just, like, me and Colby were bomb-ass double-dutchers. First of all, you take us back to 6th grade, there's another motherfucking pair that could out-double-dutch us. We were awesome. But
dude, that gives me an idea. I'm going to let you finish first, and then I'll tell you my idea. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask you, because, like, we had the same gym teacher technically in Miss Sharp. Was it?
I didn't have her.
Oh, was she gone by the time?
I had Coach Turner.
Who did you have?
I coached
Oh, okay. Well, did Glenville have one of the Dance Revolution setups?
That's what I was about to tell you. We did not have Rock Band, but we had DDR. Yeah.
We had the full thick board that would be played on the wall and everything.
That's sick. That's awesome.
Dude, that right there. That's an extra shout-out because that's a core childhood memory from Troy Elementary. If anybody is watching this and remembers that, just freaking comment like this or something because that was awesome. That was fucking awesome, man. Sorry, so what's your number 3, though? I love your list, by the way. Yours are very good.
I think my list is pretty good, and it's funny because I didn't think about it beforehand. I thought of the topic, and I was like, I could round off 5 easy. And I think they'd all be pretty solid. So 3 has got to be... I can't nail down a specific game because the series is all good, but I'll just go ahead and say the first one. Jak and Daxter, PS2. Don't know if you ever played the Jak and Daxter games on PS2. I've played them recently. I think I replayed Jak and Daxter last year because it's on the PS5 as well. It's a fucking awesome game. It is a fucking incredible game. The whole series is good. There's not a bad one. Well, yeah, there is. But out of the original trilogy, the 1, 2, and 3, there's not a bad one. The bad ones get to whenever they do the spin-off games, like the racing game. And then they had a 4th game that sucked. But Jak and Daxter 1, 2, and... Jak and Daxter, which was the first one, and then Jak 2, Jak 3. But if I had to pick one of those, Jak and Daxter, the first one, it's one of the best fucking games ever made. And I'll stand by that until the day I die.
That's awesome. I've never played those. It's ironic. For you, it's those. For me, if I was going to pick a game similar to that, I'd choose Ratchet and Clank.
Yep, that's a good one too.
But I've watched you play those games, though. I watched you actually replay the one you're talking about there last year.
Yeah, because it's been, like, they re-released it on PS4 a long time ago. I probably replayed it when we lived together.
Yeah.
Like
I think you did, and then whenever they remastered it for the 5, might have been what you played last year.
Yeah, when they redid it for the 5, they only did the first one. I don't think they did 2 or 3 yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are good ones. I had.
What's your number 4?
Number 4. That's a fucking tough one. Because I have a whole list of that whole PS2 era that I could pick from, but Jak and Daxter was the one that stood out to me. So like, I'll give you some of the ones that I picked Jak and Daxter over. Like I picked Jak and Daxter over Ratchet and Clank. I picked it over Sly Cooper. I picked it over, like shit like that. Like, I could easily round out my list with those, but I want to go with something different. So, let's say what I'm going to go with next. It's probably got to be. Let's see here. You know what? Just because I started replaying it again, and it still holds up, and it's awesome. I'm actually going to change it. I was going to say something else. Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 is easily, like, if we're talking about best games I've ever played, Red Dead Redemption 2 would take the 1 spot. If it wasn't for the family and nostalgia purposes, Red Dead Redemption 2 would have the 1 spot. And Red Dead Redemption 2 also holds a place in my heart. I found Red Dead Redemption 2 when I was going through a bit of a rough time. I've told a few people that story, but I was that was around the end of college, and I had started saving up some money. For somebody else, a big life decision, big moment, big gift, I guess you could say, for somebody else. And then turned out that didn't need that anymore, and it wasn't much of an option. And then I was like, well, I got all this money saved up. I'm going to buy a video game and some alcohol. And I'm going to make myself feel better. And I bought Red Dead Redemption 2. And then it got me out of a rut. And I was like, dude, this game is awesome. The story's sick. I did replay it again recently. It's really good. Still really good. Still holds up. But yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 holds a special place in my heart. Not for family purposes, because that one dug me out of the trenches. That was a damn good game.
That is just a good game. That's all I have to say about it.
It's a great game, and I stumbled across it at the right time. I got it like months after it came out, but I was like, man, I got all this money I was saving up for this thing. I don't need it anymore, so I'm gonna go spend $100, go get a bottle and a video game, and that was it. And then I played it that day, and I was like, this is the best fucking game ever made. I think you're muted again, Justin.
All I said was that's awesome.
Oh,
yeah. So what's your number 5 there then? What you gonna round off your list there with?
Oh man, I'm gonna round off my list. You know what? And I thought I'd pick a sports game on this list. I'm not picking one. I am gonna pick something I started playing again recently. Spider-Man. The PS4 Spider-Man that they remastered for the PS5, the one that came out when we were in college. The one that's its own original story. It's not based on any of the movies yet.
Yeah. The one that it's followed by Miles Morales.
Yep. And then they came out with Spider-Man 2, which is the third series of the game for some reason. But yeah, that one's going in number 5. Just doesn't really hold a special place in my heart, other than it's a fucking awesome game and it's replayable as hell. I've beaten that game a few times, and I just very easily last week was like, I'm gonna play this again, and then I started playing it again. Didn't get too super far, but
yeah,
it's a replayable game. It's like, out of the whole series, out of the 3, it's the best one. It's got the best story. It's got out of any game, it's got one of the best stories ever out of any game that I've played. So you
think?
I think
that's
so,
good.
Yeah.
That's good. I've played some of it. My little brother Caleb loves both of those games, the Miles Morales one as well. He loves those games. That's awesome. That's a great list. It's good to end on. It's good to have a superhero one thrown in there. First of all, it'd be easy to name off more because I could think of a lot more I did on the way there. But I'll just throw off some honorable mentions just because they are great in general. Mortal Kombat, all of them.
Yeah.
One of my favorite actual superhero video game that's ever been made is the Arkham Knight.
Yes! That's what I thought you were going to say. Yeah, that's a damn good one, dude.
Arkham Knight is one of the craziest series, and it's whenever you were talking about stories, it is a story.
It's good.
And every one of them, every extension of the original game is so good. And not just as somebody that collects Batman stuff. I'm a Marvel person over DC, 100%.
Yeah, me too.
It's just
so good.
Those games are incredible and so fun to play. Yes.
Yeah, so good.
So yes, them. I'm also going to throw in there my third honorable mention. I'll just do it. Is Simpsons Road Rage.
That's a good one too, man.
Simpsons Road Rage is one of the best games that I ever had, and me and my cousins, we have so many memories of playing those late night, no matter whose house we were at. Simpsons Road game, honorable mention. Also Halo, just original Xbox Halo.
Halo's good. Yeah.
Halo is what started me on Xbox games because of Andy. That and whatever Call of Duty was out around 2005, 2006.
I'll sprinkle in a couple honorable mentions of my own.
Yes, please do.
You talked about Grand Theft Auto 5, and I'll talk about it too. But I'm gonna give a different reason for it, because that game has been out, and I didn't everybody knows how long they've been milking that game on this franchise, but to put it into perspective. We're grown men. We're much closer to 30 than we are 20, and we played this game at my house in high school. We got
when Vine was alive.
Back when Vine was alive. Me, you, and Ty and Kevin. After school, whenever we would hang out, we would go to Kevin's house and do chores. And then
after school stuff.
And then we'd go to Kevin's house and do our homework, and then we'd go home, and we after we did our homework, we would go home, and all homeworked up, we would play Grand Theft Auto 5 in my room for hours, like literally until everybody went home. Until
everybody just went home.
Yeah,
that was just...
and we just drove around fucking stuff up. So that's
each take turns, like, oh, go and do this. So like if we weren't playing, we would still
we would seriously, like, we would use all the cheats except for the invincibility one, and then we would just go cause like disasters.
Havoc.
Yeah,
yes.
We would just like kill people until we died, and then we'd hand off the controller, and that's all we did.
Dude, that is that is a great one. That flashback, I was even a victim of one of them. Do you remember whenever slap cams were huge on Vine?
Oh my
and we did
god!
That? Oh my gosh, Kevin got me so good one time. Somebody threw a basket on me, so it distracted me, and I turned right at the right fucking moment, mid-game. I think it was even a 2K game or something. He got me so good.
Dude, it sucked because we all played a role in that. So I think Ty threw the basket. I recorded the video, and Kevin slapped the shit out of you.
Well, the worst thing is you can't. Yeah, and you can't you can't be mad because it just happened almost every day, if not multiple times a day.
I felt bad about it because I didn't have any idea he was going to hit you.
Oh
that
my
hard.
Gosh, bro!
Like when he hit you, hit you that hard, I was like, "Fuck."
I don't think he knew how hard he was going to hit. I don't think he'd ever hit a person.
I don't think he did either.
Because it's Kevin. But oh my gosh, bro!
I remember he got. I'm not gonna mention his name, but I remember he got somebody else better than he got you.
Bro, I've watched so many at school. Oh, I remember the one you're talking. I was gonna say I've watched a lot of people like literally, like because it was common for over a year.
Yeah.
But the person you're talking about that we will not mention.
No. No, don't give him the attention he wants, that scumbag.
But I do know which one you're talking about, and that one was deliberate though, and that's why that one was funny.
Looking back on it, I wish Kevin would have hit him harder.
I don't know if he could have.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Especially for that time because we were such adolescents.
That was funny as hell.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, but that just flashes me back. Like Vine was the thing. Vine was great too. Another mash out to Vine.
I do have a couple other honorable mentions, but I think that was the biggest
throw
one.
them out,
Grand Theft Auto 5. Other ones I'm not going to explain. Just going to be things that I fucking loved just growing up. Pokemon was always, obviously, like all of them. I don't have one I can nail down. If I had to nail one down, it'd be Pokemon Emerald.
Mm-hmm.
See, another one would definitely have to be fucking... MLB The Show. Like, the whole series. I think that was, up until recently, I think that's the first sports one I'm going to throw in. And then after this, I'm going to try to close it with a half-decent one. But MLB The Show, for the longest time, I think they were the coolest... sports series franchise because they did. I think it was the most realistic. It always looked the best, and they had the best career mode because you could make your player, and you would literally only play your at bats. So you would just breeze through games, and it didn't feel tedious as fuck. So it was really fun.
I didn't even play baseball from middle school on, and I loved those games. Those games were great to play, and like you said, so were realistic. And then my favorite thing was the career mode, and it was because the career mode for somebody like us who's from Central West Virginia and has to go out of state to watch actual major league, and then has to travel 2 hours to watch any sort of minor league. It let us learn teams. Like, for me personally, that wasn't a huge baseball. Like, it's how I learned teams.
That's how I learned all my teams. That's how I learned all my teams on everything growing up. Like, I did watch sports, but most of my knowledge was from video games. Maybe not football-wise, but basketball and baseball, 100%.
2K12 through 2K16 were top tier. We're top tier, in my opinion. I love those games. Also good. But yes, dude, that's great. I didn't even think of that, which is weird.
And then I'll close this with one more good one, and I'm going to rip from the Grand Theft Auto series again, but I think this might have been the best one ever. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Still holds up. Always will. And I don't even think I got to elaborate any further on that one. That one doesn't have any sentimental anything to me. Just a damn fun game that has stood the test of time 20-plus years. So
Yeah.
Shouts out to Rockstar for the Grand Theft Auto.
If anybody's played that game, or maybe not now, if anybody that is older than us or our age played that game, they would agree with you, or at least wouldn't dispute you, like throwing it in there as an honorable
Yeah. Like I don't think everybody would agree that it's like the best game ever, but if you were to say Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was a good game, anybody that played it, I don't think they'd disagree with you. I don't think there's any fucking way. Like if you like video games and you like playing video games and you don't like that one, I don't think that's real. I think if you don't like that one, you probably don't like playing video games. You just hang it up. You go find a different hobby.
They don't understand what it is, because for that time the accessibility and what you were offered, like they're probably comparing it to what it is now instead of understanding the time period and like
a younger person would appreciate it.
No, and I can understand it. Like, the only reason I do appreciate it is because whenever I play any games like that, that's even in the character bit load, like, I appreciate for my sentimental value rather than I'm like, this game is great. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But at the time, that was a game changer of a game for sure.
Yes.
Like 2004 or something.
I just know it was old. I definitely did not play it at that age.
I did. I had an older brother though, so that's why. Thankfully, I didn't know what any of the inappropriate stuff meant. I think that's what a lot of people. I mean, I guess now with the age of the internet, you can figure it out. But like, whenever we were younger, my parents let me play all kinds of bad shit, and it didn't translate over to anything because I didn't know like what the raunchy stuff that they were saying. I didn't know what it meant. So not only did I not think it was funny, I didn't give a shit to ask. I was like, oh, okay, whatever the fuck that means. I'm gonna run over people with this car, and that didn't translate to adulthood because I haven't ran anybody over with a car yet.
That's definitely how it is for me. My parents were definitely a lot more skeptical and observant or watchful, just because I think it was the environment that we grew up in, and maybe certain family members we have. My mom specifically didn't want any of me or my siblings to I don't know, she had the mentality, especially because she wasn't one of video games or any sort that did translate to these sort of things. Like she's still today addressing like video games to the way my brothers react, and my brothers definitely act different because of the video games, but she thinks that she attributes their attitude and the things they're saying not from being learned from the video games or what other people are. And she you just know it, everybody knows it, the way that we say certain words, our parents do not understand the meaning and maybe even the dictation of what we're trying to say. It is something completely different to them, and it's not. And so it's the way my mom takes it, and so I have to tell my mom, like, Mom, I promise you, whatever my brothers are saying, which I hear them, I said, if you were to go back to whenever I was a child and get on Xbox Live, I bet you wouldn't make it 5 seconds without hearing the N-word. Legitimately.
Not a chance.
They, especially in the Call of Duty games or in any, which my brothers are playing Fortnite, so that it's either Call of Duty or Medal of Honor. Those are basically the only games that when we were kids, that were out like that. But it's still like, I don't know. It's a weird it's a weird balance thing.
I hope that if there's any young people that listen to the list we just rolled off, I hope for all 10 of those that we said, they didn't go, what the fuck? What is that?
If you did, look them up and play them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess 9 of those, because one of the ones that I listed came out like a couple years ago as Spider-Man.
Everybody knows of Black Ops 3, too.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you don't, you can't play Black Ops, which sucks. Black Ops 3 online, and that's the fun mode.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Shit, dude.
That's all right.
I think that was a good...
Well, you got anything else, man?
No, dude, I think that was a good nail in the coffin if you don't have anything. I think that was a good little fucking closer.
Yeah, if you're okay with it, I could just do a few last second just thoughts and rants, if that's all right.
Yeah. Can I do one first? I want to do one first. I'm gonna mix.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mix in one this week.
Yeah, let's join in.
Those people that if you go to a gas station and you buy all your lottery tickets at the counter and you don't use the very convenient machine off to the side somewhere else, then fuck you. And if you and really, if you're doing it during rush hour, if you do it in the morning, or if you do it at lunchtime, and you're sitting up there at the counter getting your 18 different scratch-offs, then you can go directly to hell, and I hope you lose every one of them. That's my only rant. That's the only thing I had to say. That was just, that one was something that caught my eye at a gas station. So.
Yep. I only have one rant. I have a few things to say. My rant is to Dollar General. Dollar General, one, why are you building in random-ass fields that farmers used to own? That is just stop that. But two, if you're going to build in random-ass fields that farmers used to own, and in those random-ass fields and random-ass shops, you are putting self-checkout machines. Make sure that they all work.
I've never been to a Dollar General where the self-checkout works, ever.
Employ more than 2 people, and make sure that and somehow, I don't know the odds of this, but for me, it's a lot. 2 people work in a store, but yet one's on break
all the time, the whole day. Yeah.
So,
and it's like and they obviously definitely don't hire people that stock the shelves because they just get carts of boxes and leave them in the middle of the goddamn aisles.
It makes absolutely no sense.
Every one of them too. Every Dollar General. Like, it's not just a back home thing. It's here. It's everywhere in between here and there. It's all of them. I've never been to one that isn't cluttered, and I have never been to one where there's a reasonable amount of staff.
Or the one thing that they're doing, if they are stocking those, what you're talking about, they see you walk in while they're stocking those boxes, and instead of going to the register knowing that somebody is about to come and check out, they decide to either keep stocking or to walk to the back.
Yeah, go to the back and get more boxes to leave in the aisle and not check you out, yeah.
Yeah, and not check you out. Yeah. So that's my own...
like their training video teaches people how to be as goddamn inconvenient as humanly possible.
Dude, it is the most frustrating thing whenever I only need 5 things. And, why take out one of the registers and put in that self-checkout? You know, once again. And then, you know what? I actually have one other, now that I think about it. This comes from my my trip. I love cheese bites. I'm unhealthy, so I love fried cheese. So I get mozzarella bites, Wisconsin cheese bites. I thought of this. Somebody, not me, should sue some sort of restaurant because I was just eating them and I was like, this is not Wisconsin cheese. The cheese of Wisconsin is, I believe it is cheddar or it is Colby or it is something. It is a yellow cheese. But all cheese bites are mozzarella. So they are false advertising. Everybody, and I looked it up and they're like, well, it's just a coined term for the, well, no, just name it what it is. Don't call it a Wisconsin cheese bite if it's mozzarella cheese inside of every piece of it.
Yeah, you call it a mozzarella bite. Honestly,
I
think you'd probably sell more of them. I'd buy it.
Or a cheese stick. Yeah. Not a Wisconsin cheese, just dumb.
Yeah, that's dumb. They can go to hell. They're disrespecting Wisconsin, too, by the way.
They're absolutely stupid. Okay, so everything else I'm just going to throw out there. In October, they are releasing I'm a big Lego person. Me and my wife are. In October, they were releasing Game Boy Lego series. So look out for that. Yeah, man. Yeah, we're going to both have to get some of those.
That's going to be awesome.
Yes. What's funny at Mattel, everybody knows Mattel, they're about to open up a rival brick shop company. So look out for those.
Oh, Mattel's getting in the Lego game, are they?
Yeah. So I'll try some of those out probably and just tell everybody how those are. Friday was the Eagles Super Bowl parade.
Yep.
And Friday was Valentine's Day. So here come around Thanksgiving, everybody should look for a
whole bunch of Philly kids.
Yeah, a whole bunch of NFL-inspired douchebag white boys walking around Philly, being strolled around.
Here in about 15, 16 years, you're gonna get all kinds of douchebag streamers. They're gonna be whiter than me with blonde hair, and their first name's gonna be Saquon.
Saquon out the beat.
Hey, shout out to Saquon real quick. By the way, He was going through the Super Bowl parade, and he saw one of the water boys over the barricade, and he pulled him out,
bro.
Which I think is awesome because that guy worked for the team, and he had every goddamn right to be in that parade. So Saquon Barkley's awesome. Whenever I made my comment, I was not making fun of his name. I was making fun of all the Philly people that are going to use his name. But Saquon Barkley is the man. Yeah, that guy's awesome. I don't like the Eagles. That guy's the shit.
Yeah, I was not dissing on any of the players. I was dissing on just the stereotypical Philly fan.
Oh, I'll diss on the Philly fan all day. I live in Pittsburgh. They can all go to hell.
So that's funny. A fact that I learned was that in 1984, 1 out of every 2 pizzas delivered in America was from Domino's. And I'm a fan of Domino's, so I just think that's pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, always tip the Domino's guy in case you don't know.
Always tip the Domino's.
Your house might get haunted if you don't tip the Domino's guy.
And try their garlic butter sauce. It's unhealthy, but dang good. I really like it. And the last thing that I really have to say, I'm going to look it up here, because I had wrote it down whenever I was playing golf there not too long ago. And it just made me think, because I was like, man, this would be fun if Wyatt was out here with me. And I was like, man, I was not playing good yet again, just like my first time.
It would have been more fun then.
Yeah. More fun. But I was like, you know what? But I'm having a good time. And I was like, the reason I golf isn't like to play it is to play the best every time, but it's not so that I get the best. And I really just do it to create moments and memories and times with the people that I'm with, whether it's a family member, a good friend, or somebody that I'm becoming acquainted with. And I was just out there alone again, and I was just thinking about it, and it just really made me appreciate, one, how awesome of a hobby I've come to pick up as an adult, and the people that I have around me that are willing to do it with me, and the times that I get to do it, in general, I'm very lucky, especially with my semi-busy life, but it's awesome, and to get to, like, all I thought, because I was like, I got to go home to Faith, and I got to tell her about how bad I did, but I had a great time. I'm excited to do that during the regular year. Like, I'm excited to do that with you, and with Kevin, and with Seth, and with whoever it is that I may be playing with at the time. Like, can I have that that guy time, and then go home and enjoy it with my wife and my daughter as well. You know, I'm super excited for the warmer weather to come around, man.
It is going to be very fun. I will be back in due time, and we will definitely get to some golfing. We'll go to town. We'll go to Bell Meadow again. I really like that place. We'll go there again.
Yes, Bell Meadows is awesome. I love that place.
I think it's a good place to fucking shoot this shit in the head.
Yep, I absolutely.
We had a good long one today. We were both talking about how we were like feeling like shit and didn't have anything to fucking talk about, and then we did our longest one yet. So
just kind of rolled with it. I like it.
Off, man. That was a good one.
I like it. Awesome.
Yeah. Go like, subscribe. Always tip your Domino's guy, and make sure you play Jack and Daxter.
That's right. We'll see you back here for episode 9 next week. Thank you, everybody.
See ya.